What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody. I am Love Coach Scott Katamas, and welcome to the Saturday night edition of The Awakening World. And tonight's a great show. I'm so excited about the people that are with us. They're all people we've had on before, so they're like some of our favorites. My wonderful co-host, Tangela, is with us. And of course, that means it's a SoulSearchTV show. And with us is, of course, her kind of new star who has been on the shows I've done for years. John Gray and Tangela have formed a partnership, and it is good. They're doing wonderful things together, and we're going to hear all about that. And our beloved Kimberly Meredith is back, and she is going to be giving a talk and also doing some readings. So think about if some of you want to get readings from Kimberly. And those two guys are back, AJ and Thomas. We love these guys. And there's the two of them, and there's like the dozens of channels bouncing around who come through them. So get ready for questions if you might want to ask them. And of course, it's Saturday night. We always have live music. And of course, our beloved brother Omashar will be here providing 3 songs. It's a 3-song night. And one of our absolute favorite people, Tatiana Speed, is back with us. And so look at all these wonderful people, all people we know and love. Now, I recognize that some of you are watching on Facebook. In fact, most of you are watching on Facebook or YouTube. So maybe you don't know all of these people. And what I want to encourage you to do is to join the Global Peace Tribe. Come on into our Zoom room, and that way you can ask questions of John Gray, of AJ and Thomas, perhaps even get a personal reading from Kimberly Meredith. And it's really easy to join us. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, like what's behind me. I'll take you to the website, globalpeacetribe.com. You can learn all about us. We do 2 or 3 shows every week, and just click register for the new season. And that's a perfect time because our new season begins July 1st. So you'll get the links for the remaining shows in June and all of our shows in July, August, and September. And this includes our twice-a-week Awakening World, our new film series, and special events. And speaking of special events, remember the Sacred Sunday show, everybody? Well, we're going to do one next Sunday. Next Sunday morning, we're going to do a Sacred Sunday show. It'll start at 9:30 or 9:45 in the morning. That'll be for all of our Global Peace Tribe members. And you'll get to see Omashar doing some music. And Eden Amador and myself and Tangela will all be co-creating the opening ceremony for her Enlightenment Expo in San Rafael. And we're going to live stream it out to all of you who can't make it to San Rafael, but I know some of you can. So hopefully we'll see you then. So there's some opening announcements on my end. I'm going to turn it over to the co-hostess with the mostest. And Sheila, welcome back to the Awakening World.
Thanks so much, Scott. So amazing to be here with you and everyone else tuning in the Zoom room. So beautiful to see our whole Global Peace Tribe community saying hello from Trinidad and Vancouver and the Bay Area, Colorado, all over the country, all over the world. So exciting to feel the energy that we're all creating together, connecting in the quantum field across Facebook, across YouTube. It's so exciting. I can always feel this palpable energy of the Global Peace Tribe as we come together, Scott. So thanks so much for having me. And of course, our amazing Soul Search master healers and practitioners here, John Gray, Kimberly Meredith, AJ and Tom. You know, each of you guys is such an incredible master healer, teacher, guide, and we're just so blessed to be able to share together today and bring through the wisdom and guidance to our whole community.
Absolutely. And just for people who don't know, there's Soul Search and there's Soul Search TV. And we're really going to be focusing tonight a lot on Soul Search TV. Tangela, I've got the website up, but tell people a little bit about Soul Search TV.
Sure. So Soul Search TV is our conscious content streaming channel, and this is where our practitioners, such as AJ and Tom, they have an amazing show called The Infinite Pathway, Journey to Self-Realization. Asil Tuksal has Sacred Earth Expeditions. Jared, the medium, has Medium-Sized Ego. How to Medium Well with Adelita, Quantum Awakenings with Darren Starwin. We have many more shows coming soon from Kimberly Meredith, Messages from Heaven. And John is actually going to be doing a whole relationship mastery class on Soul Search TV called Mars and Venus for the Modern World. So this is a channel that we are bringing forth to the world. It's completely free for you all to dive in. And so if you haven't checked out the shows yet, I really encourage you to. You can go to SoulSearch.tv. You can watch it on Roku, Amazon, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search for the Soul Search TV app and download it on your television. We have people watching from all over the world, UK, Australia, Brazil. And, we really want to share these energies. And because each of the shows are transmissions from our practitioners, they're very powerful. I mean, if you watch AJ and Tom's show, each episode, they are bringing through such a high level of consciousness, teachings, that it's really exciting because you don't get to see this kind of content anywhere else. So, definitely tune in, check out soulsearch.tv, and then also you can check out soulsearch.io. That's our community and directory of spiritual and energetic healers, teachers, and guides giving transmissions, and you can connect with them through Soul Search, as well as coming to our live events and our online events, to support you on your awakening journey, wherever you are, whether you've been on the spiritual path for 40 years, or you just found out yesterday that, hey, I think there's something more. We have something for you, and we invite you to come in and join us and be a part of our community.
Beautiful. And really, Soul Search is amazing. Definitely, if you have not already, go to soulsearch.io and join the mailing list so you can get all the information. And this is the place to find amazing people, whether you're looking for a psychic, a healer, a practitioner, this is the place to go. And she also has these wonderful enlightenment expos. We'll talk about those a little bit later. As I said, Eden Amador and I are going to be kicking off things at her San Rafael Expo next Sunday. So there's a lot going on with Soul Search, Soul Search TV. Tangela, you're amazing. All that you do. Are you ready to move and groove?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited for the show tonight, and I'm excited for our first guest.
And that's how we start, because we start with music. I know
Wonderful.
I know you're going to get John Gray up there, but we got to get some music going. Look, Eleanor Joy is here, so we know that we got to get some music. And AJ and Thomas always move and groove to the music. So does Kimberly and a lot of the other people that I see in the audience. So Adora, she's here. She's going to dance. So let's turn it over to our absolute beloved brother, Omashar, for tonight's first song.
Yay, welcome everybody. Welcome all our Zoom roomers and welcome Facebook and YouTubers. And yes, something is happening. And I do believe in my heart that we are past the tipping point and that the time has come, which leads me into my song, which is called The Time Has Come. What a concept. So I felt alone for so many years, held my head high to hide the pain. Nowhere to turn, so to myself again. Tune my heart to the mother. I am one with all feeling, and one with all love, one with all healing, and one with all. One with all feeling, and one with all love, one with all healing, and one with all. Time has come to wake my sleepy head and peel back the sheets of illusion. The time has come to lift my voice once more, sing the songs of the new world. I am one with all feeling, and one with all love, one with all healing, and one with all. One with all feeling, and one with all love, one with all healing, and one with all. The time has come.
Let's all twinkle, beloved Omar Star, for that beautiful, beautiful song. And to go to gallery view. Look at all these beautiful souls, all these global peace tribers.
I feel fully twinkled.
Piper's with us, Piper in the house, and so many people that we love. It's beautiful to see all of you. And
So, Scott, I thanked Facebook and I thanked YouTube. I want to thank our broadcast partners. So just remember that. Thank you so much. Sign Network and Alan Steinfeld and all of the other beautiful streams that put us out there. Thank you.
absolutely, thank you. And hey, I want to thank Omashar, and one way to thank him is by going to his website and getting his music. And his website is omashar.com. Just scroll down a little bit and you'll see all the different places to get his music. We suggest Bandcamp because Bandcamp is, well, they pay the best royalties. And so that's where you can see his 5 current albums with that wonderful space that will be filled sometime soon with the new one, the new album that he's working on now. So let's all support Omashar because he is such a blessing to the awakening world. We love him very, very much. And he'll be back with 2 more songs tonight. Okay, Tangela, I know you were eager to introduce John, and understandably so, because it's really an honor to have this man with us. He is, I'll say briefly and then turn over to you for the official introduction. John is one of the smartest, most energetic, most alive human beings I've ever met in my life. He's filled with wisdom and he does everything with love. So I'll leave it at that and turn it over to you, Tangela, for the official intro.
Thanks, God. And thank you so much, Omashar. What a beautiful song. And definitely the time has come. So appropriate, to start off the show with such a beautiful message for all of us as we celebrate this time together. And of course, I'm very excited to be introducing John Gray. He really needs no introduction, but John is the author of the most well-known and trusted relationship book of all time, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. USA Today listed his book as one of the top 10 most influential books of the last quarter century. It was a #1 best-selling book of the 1990s, and he has a whole series of books. The Mars Venus book series has forever changed the way men and women view their relationships, and John helps men and women better understand and respect their differences in both personal and professional relationships. And I just want to show, these are just a few of John's books here, of course, from the Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus series, but also John has many different books for personal transformation, self-development, and spiritual upliftment. And it's just been such a great honor and pleasure to be able to get to know John and work with him here at Soul Search. And John, thank you for bringing and sharing so many of your gifts to the whole community. And I'm going to let you take it away, but I definitely want to invite all of you watching to join us every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. because John leads a meditation, the Radiant Mind meditation, where we all come together every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. to meditate. And his meditation techniques are very powerful. And I have to say, I have already felt a big difference in my own life. And, thank you, John. And encourage all of you guys to come and join us for that every morning. And welcome to the show.
Tangela, thank you so much. And you're a radiant being. We call them Radiant Mind meditations, but looking at you, you radiate all. I'd like to start today with a Sanskrit invocation. It's apavitro. If everybody put their hands up in the air, it just says, whoever is pure or impure, may you receive the blessings from above. So apavita pravitro va sava vastanga kolpita aspare pundari kaksham sabaya vyatira suchi. So may God's blessings come to everybody tonight as we gather together in a group. One of the themes of our Radiant Mind meditations we do is we simply invoke our higher power with a phrase, Dear God, our arms out, our hearts are open to you. Please come. If you would join with me just for a few moments, just to invoke, feel the divine energy pouring into our body. There's nothing more powerful than meditating in a group, being together in a group. I meditate every day. I feel surrounded by God's presence all the time. But when I'm with a group and I get to meditate, it's just so pronounced. You just feel that meditation lasting all day. It just stays with you more as you're connected to so many people also in that high frequency. And I know tonight we'll all be doing that by the music and the sharing and the ideas. So a simple little meditation now, if we can all just raise our hands up into the air, to feel our palms and our fingertips, which is where we can easily connect with the divine energy within our heartfelt. Dear God, our hearts are open to you. Please come, right, opening our arms wide, bringing our hands slowly together to a prayer position with your intention for tonight. May God's love fill us all with love and light and joy, and let it pervade our evening, our sleep, and the whole next week, and so forth. And we ask that you come through everyone as our energies come together, and we receive your blessings right now. Thank you. So my presentation is about romantic love, romance and love in the modern world, and longevity. Because I know several people are my age listening. The younger generation are more interested in the love and the romance part. Some of us in our 70s and 80s, I'm in my 70s, may not be so interested in the romance, but I want to talk about the importance of human connection, because the research has shown so clearly, and I just did a check while I was waiting today on ChatGPT, on all the benefits of romantic love. And people who have romantic love have less anxiety, they have less depression, they live longer, they have healthier heart function. There's so many benefits. They have lower stress levels. And whether we're going to get married or in a sexual relationship, we can find romantic love. And I want to define tonight what I've observed to be the essence of anything which traditionally we called romantic. First of all, and this is the time, as our song introduced, now is the time for us all to raise our frequencies as men, to embrace both our masculine but also our feminine energies. And I want to define tonight a little bit about our masculine energies and our feminine energies, because when we can bring them together, then our own inner genius comes forth, the joy of living, the ecstasy of living sometimes, all that can come forth. You know, and Omashar giving us that beautiful, beautiful song. Creative people like him and others, they're naturally born with more connective tissue in the brain between the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. That's where all this music creativity comes from. Writers often have this, creative writers. Successful people in terms of creativity will just be born. They're born with more connection between the left and right hemispheres of the brain. And that's their blessing, that's their gift. It's also their challenge, because as you have higher consciousness, you have easy access to what we call masculine energy and feminine energy. And for a man, it's very easy to tip over into your female side if you're not feeling confident on your male side. And likewise, if a woman doesn't feel safe expressing her feminine qualities, then it's very easy for her to tip over on her male side, and we have an imbalance. So we'll explore how romance can help us to sustain a healthy balance between our male and female side. And for those that aren't familiar with my work on Men from Mars, Women from Venus, I'm sure many have heard about it. But in my more recent work, I'm looking at the actual biology of male hormones and female hormones. And when a man's hormones, when his male hormones tend to be 10 to 20 times higher than a woman's testosterone, he will live longer, and this is proven. He will have less stress in his body, and that's proven. So for a man to have that testosterone, he needs to have various messages in the outer world that he is capable, competent, reliable, and that he makes a difference, that other people need him. It's like when Omashar is playing his music and we're all dancing to the music, responding to it and appreciating him and going on and getting his music online. That's a message that he's a success, that he has served other people. That's what the male side needs most. Now, certainly women need all that. It just means men need it 10 to 20 times more. And when it's 20 times more, then you're experiencing the flow of life. And in relationships, that's where you can feel more romantic feelings for a man. But for a woman, romantic feelings only come when her estrogen levels are twice as high as a man's. Isn't this interesting? But we can measure these things now biologically. And what are the things that stimulate estrogen? Well, the research shows that physical contact, just simply a 6-second non-sexual hug, or 8 seconds, will produce oxytocin in a woman's body. And that hug, non-sexual hug, will raise her estrogen levels higher and higher. It's proven. This is all now proven. I've been talking about this stuff a long time. Now we have the biology of it, but it doesn't necessarily last. So what I'm doing now is teaching people biohacks to create more romantic feelings, affection, warmth, empathy, joy that we can experience through our relationships. And giving a hug, whether a non-sexual hug, just simply that physical contact produces oxytocin, lowers women's stress levels, raises their estrogen. So what are the behaviors I talked about for both men and women? What raises testosterone is when you feel successful at doing something, achieving a goal. And they've done lots of studies now on this. You know, when a man's football team wins, it goes up. When his team loses, it goes down. They're very unhappy. But this is when men are doing a performance task and they're told they did a good job, their testosterone levels go up. And they're doing the same test, but they're told, regardless of whether they did a good job or not, they're told they didn't do a good job, their testosterone goes down. This is the influence of relationships. To be in relationship where people hold you up in terms of what you can provide, what you can do for them is going to pump up testosterone, both in a man and woman. But the difference between men and women is that pumping up the testosterone rarely helps a woman's stress levels. What happens, it's the estrogen going up that raises that lowers the stress level in a woman. And the estrogen is produced when any situation, and me as a man, for a woman, anytime I'm dependent on something outside myself for happiness, when I depend on something outside for security, when I depend on something outside for aliveness, anything. When you're depending on something to feel good, estrogen goes up. And there's nothing more powerful than depending on another person for something for your estrogen levels to go up. This is why we see that when it comes to counseling, where you go in and you depend on someone to talk about what's going on in your life, 90% of the people that pay for that are women. Women will pay to have somebody listen to you talk to a great extent. Now, men are kind of like, oh, don't need that unless it's a big issue. But for women, the regular stress of the day, it's so important to be able to share what's going on inside. And I like to emphasize this because everybody listening to this broadcast is very much tuned into raising your frequency, high frequencies, always wanting to be positive, be optimistic. That's very important, but it's only half of life. If we look at our biology, we can see that the prefrontal cortex of the brain, where we have self-reflection, know thyself, know what's going on, know why you do things, know what feels good, know what's good for you, what's not good for you, how to help others. That's the prefrontal cortex. It's not just programmed. It's a knowing. We learn this. Well, the prefrontal cortex, the left prefrontal cortex, if it's activated, we become optimistic. We're looking at an optimistic future. Everything's okay. And the right prefrontal cortex, we're looking at problems, things that aren't okay. We're designed as human beings to do both. That's what we have to balance. Just as we all have a male and a female side, we also have this prefrontal cortex with the polarity there of looking at problems and solving problems. Now, one of the challenges for a woman who wants to be so high and spiritual and everything's positive is you have to take some time to look at what's missing, look at what's not there. And if you want to just understand it logically, if we want evolution and we want progress and we want, even in spiritual terms, all growth happens through repenting. I made a mistake and now I'm committed to changing. For me and for everyone, it's pain that motivates change. And pain happens in our soul level. We make a mistake because we always want to be our best, right? Unless we're sociopaths. We want to be our best, so we feel pain, which would be regret. We feel bad. We feel sorrow. Might feel guilt. Might feel shame. If we feel that, good. Feel that, and now let it go by committing yourself to self-correction, personal growth, personal development. And when we do that, we're balancing both the sides of our brain, and we're also balancing our hormones as well. So for women particularly, being able to talk about frustrations, disappointments, sadness. My wife just the other day was upset about something, and I was sort of doing the normal male thing, which is,
okay, all right, you can do this and this and this, giving her a solution. And she says, wait a second, you're my husband. Don't I have a right to cry? I said, okay. Go right ahead, sweetie. I'm right here for you. Even though I teach this stuff, I have to be reminded of it sometimes. But at least when I'm reminded of it, I certainly don't argue about it. And if a man doesn't understand the importance of women, we might say venting, sharing problems, sharing frustrations, sharing negative emotions, not always being positive. It's for women, it's kind of an up and down. That's the female side of us. Now, I have a strong female side. It doesn't go that far up and down, but it does at times, particularly with romantic love, because romantic love is where a man is on his testosterone goes up, but also his estrogen goes up. And that's that creative state that artists will, when they're in the flow, that's where they're coming from, is both their male and female sides simultaneously. And we go into a good state of meditation through our meditation practice. We're in that state of balance, of focus and flow, actually focus and relaxation, which creates flow. That's where our creativity comes from. You know, I can just give my own testimonial of 55 years of meditating. That's how I write all these books. I sit down with a blank mind. It's a little scary too. What do I have to say? You have to go into this sort of uncertainty place of what do I have to say? And then something new, something beautiful begins to flow out. And then you have to self-correct. And then something more beautiful comes out. And then you have to self-correct. It's always that journey. And some people hamper their creativity because they expect perfection. And if we demand perfection of ourselves, then when we're flowing out, it's painful to go, that's not very good. I need to fix that. You know, we want to sort of get stuck in proving everything we think and feel is right, as opposed to, I could adjust that. Let me make that better. Let me make that better. And this is sort of the art of a songwriter. Not that I'm a songwriter. I write my books, but I feel like I'm making music. And I've read about other songwriters and playing on the piano, and they'll hit a few notes and then another note and try another note, because there's always the next note. It's there. It's already written, so to speak. It's in the cosmic intelligence. And you're just tuning into it. Is it? Is this it? Is it? And then suddenly it starts to flow. Same thing when I write books. Is I write a sentence, another sentence, and I repeat them a few times and say, what's next? What's the next phrase to come? It's already there, but we have to find it. And always when it comes to growth and progress, we have to take the first step. I think it's some scriptural somewhere in one of the many religions. If you take one step towards God, God will take 9 steps for you. You have to take that step. And what gets in the way, oh my gosh, for men, what gets in the way, you can see when a man's masculinity, when his testosterone is not being pumped up by his own self-esteem and his own attitude, but also his relationships. If he doesn't have that support in his life, he will tend to go too far to his female side. And when a man's on his female side, he procrastinates. He puts off. Tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, not today. When you're in your male side, you do it right now. So one of my things that awaken the male side, well, let me tell you the other side of the woman. For her, when she's not on her female side, she goes over to her male side, which says, well, he's not going to do it, so I'll do it for myself. Or I don't want to bother him, I'll do it myself, because that's your male side. So think of the female side of us, the male side of us. And remember, as I say this, I don't want to push anybody's buttons, upset you, but we all have both a male, female side. All I'm doing is defining them. And biologically, a simple truth, men need to make more testosterone. Women need to make more estrogen. The number one cause, we're talking about longevity, the number one cause of heart disease, and this is the biggest killer for men, is low testosterone. There's no man that's ever had a heart attack with high testosterone. His testosterone goes low, his estrogen goes high, and that causes a heart attack for a man. And we know that when a man retires from working, some kind of job separate from his spouse, he's out there being of service. That's what builds your testosterone, is work. And then relaxation afterwards, and then work, relaxation afterwards, and then come out of your cave to give to your wife, your family, your friends, your community. That's your heart side. But you've got to take care of this aspect of our being, which is our masculine side, which is detached, but not indifferent. Is it not getting upset about stuff, not feeling down about stuff, learning how to come back to build the testosterone in a man. Very important. He will tend to go to his female side. Symptoms of that is where he's depending on approval
depending on support, depending on food, depending on alcohol, depending on drugs, depending on online entertainment, too much of that weakens a man's testosterone. It's good as a balance, but not the major source of fulfillment for the male. But for the female side of us, the estrogen side, what produces estrogen is, well, first of all, I mentioned just physical touch is an oxytocin producer, which helps, is proven now to raise estrogen. Now that's the simple science, but I explain behind the science as to why. Is that the female side of us, it increases estrogen whenever you're depending on something of value. Like, for example, women going to a therapist, they're depending on that support, someone to hear them. Why do they feel better? Not even have to fix anything, just talk about it. That's the estrogen going up, lowers the testosterone. The bankers used to call me up and say, we need to help us with our marketing because so many women have so much money, their husbands have all died. So back a long time ago. Now women are making more money. But the whole idea there was we need to draw the women in. And so you'll see about the time Men Are From Mars came out in 1995, the banks started changing and they're all saying, we'll give you personalized service. We care. We understand the challenges you face. We'll be there for you. We honor your needs. See, those are the messages that raise estrogen. When somebody cares about you, when someone listens to you, when somebody hears you, when someone respects you, honors you, does things for you. That's the big one. Words are cheap if there's no action behind it. So the whole aspect of our female side needs to depend, at least, on someone significant in our life, which is why I'll come back to when you have this hormonal balance where women have people to depend on, they don't feel alone, and men feel I'm making a difference as opposed to sitting around watching TV. When you have that, men's testosterone goes up, women's estrogen goes up, and evidence shows we live longer. We live longer. So we don't want to be alone. We want to be able to interact. However, space is very important. You don't want to be together all the time. You need space to rebuild testosterone. You need connection to build the estrogen going up. So it's a nice way of understanding the power of love and romance. So now where does romance come in? Romance comes into anytime you're in a relationship and the male, or the male polarity, responds to request of the woman. So I analyze, there's two levels of relationship. One is the level of survival. When women needed men for money and protection, then relationships were easy if he could provide money and protection. But as soon as women can provide their own money and their own protection, what does she need a man for? Well, for men to thrive, they need to feel valued and needed and appreciated. So that's all testosterone boosting. So I've created these hacks. And so I'll just briefly go through a few. They're really quite fun. I have so many more in my books, of course. One is 4 hugs a day. Just make it in your mind. For the man pursues the woman, you wake up, you find her, you give her a hug. Or when she gets up later, you give her a hug. You find her. That just pursuing a woman, you're interested, looking for her, her estrogen starts to go up. Give her a hug, her estrogen starts to go up. Then when you say goodbye or she says goodbye for the day, run to find her and give her a hug. Whenever men run for a woman, her estrogen goes up. I tell you, it's these little spikes of estrogen and estrogen. Women start to feel invisible. They, it's like, and men don't notice it. Men are fine, if you need something, let me know. Otherwise, I'm cool. So he's pursuing her, giving hugs, comes back from work or she comes home. I remember when I had young kids in the house, when I walk in, the first thing they would say, Mom's upstairs, Mom's in the garden, Mom's over here, Mom's not here. Because they knew my first question was, where's Mom? Because I'm going to show them Mom's number one and show her she's number one by finding her, giving her a hug. All these things are surges of estrogen for her, and it's lots of little things. One of my favorite phrases from Men Are From Mars is how women keep score, which is every act of love equals every act of love, big or small, has the same effect. Now, certainly needs to be a few big ones occasionally, like birthdays and holidays and whatever, but it's the lot of the little things that score points with women. So I can give her 24 roses, that's 1 surge of estrogen. I can give her 1 rose, that's 1 surge of estrogen. So lots of little things is what allows women to feel seen, heard, understood, and respected. Another big hack is the 5-minute hack. I know that any woman can ask their husband, say, look, I realize I'm a little stressed. I need more estrogen. And what does it is when I can ask for something and I get an immediate response, like right away, like I'm the queen of the universe. And you'd say, yes, I'd be happy to do it, but only for 5 minutes. Just like if you go into a restaurant and they teach you with great respect, oh, Dr. Gray, your table is ready for you. We have it prepared. And here's a free hors d'oeuvre, a little cup of wine. You feel special. Well, women need that. That's the romantic feeling, is knowing I can ask for something and it will be done. Now, in the level of survival for women, if she can have a man give her what she needs, him do something for her without her having to ask, it's very romantic. But once you're out of survival, women are more on their male side as well as their female side. What brings them back to their female side is asking for something and getting a positive response. Asking for something. Because what is romance? Romance is whenever a man provides for a woman something she could do for herself, but she doesn't have to. So a romantic date is usually the guy plans it. She could plan it, but he plans it. He takes her somewhere. They feed her, to a restaurant. She can cook for herself. Somebody's cooking for her, and he's providing that for her. You go to a hotel room, a little getaway. The sheets are clean. The room is all nice and orderly. It smells good. She doesn't have to clean it up. She doesn't have to prepare anything. It's all done for her. She doesn't have to make the bed afterwards. So little things being done for a woman is what creates romance, raises estrogen. And when her estrogen goes up, his testosterone goes up. You don't have to mow the lawn or a 3-hour job. You'll just get one estrogen. You can do lots of little things and you'll get the same estrogen response. Now, Tangela, I have no idea how long I've talked, so so you're supposed to interrupt me.
I'm going to come in for a moment because there's a couple of things I wanted to say, John. First off, when you were talking earlier about creativity, I don't know if you've ever heard this quote from Bob Dylan. Someone asked him, how do you write so many songs? And his response was, oh, I don't write them. I just write them down.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I thought of that in what you were saying.
Oh, it's exactly with my books. It's all I do. I focus on it, but I write it, and then the next words come, and I write it, and the next words come. And then after about the halfway through a book, then it just starts going. The whole thing is done. It's all coming through. It's quite an exciting moment to finish a book. What I feel like when I finish a book is like if somebody was doing a long distance race in the Olympics, and the stadium is there and you're first place and you're coming and everybody's cheering, that's really putting forth effort. And that's part of what masculine is about, is overcoming challenge and obstacle, but staying with it and then being successful to various degrees will keep your testosterone pumped up. Discipline, meditation is also a key testosterone producer. And if you do guided meditations or heartfelt meditations, it is also estrogen stimulating. So you can find that balance there. I think guided meditations are very popular today, particularly for women, because it's in relationship. See, you're relating all the time. But if it's a devotional prayer, it's also in relationship. Whereas the more Buddhist meditation, repetition of mantra and so forth, you're finding your unboundedness, your detachment, your freedom, your space. And of course, that's what I've written about in all my books, having been a meditator, how important space is for men. One of the secrets of lasting romance in my 32-year marriage, now I'm married again after my wife has passed, but that marriage was fantastic because my work caused me to be away for a couple of days every week. So I had space so I could miss her and she'd miss me. If I was gone too long, then she would miss me too much and wasn't that happy when I was away. So you have to find the right balance for everybody. But the key thing for men is to know that time is that he needs his time where he feels completely self-reliant in serving others, then time to recover, and then time to be self-reliant or to serve his family, his wife, those who are close to him, because that produces so much estrogen in a man. Love produces estrogen. My little granddaughter, my latest granddaughter, I have 5 grandchildren. The latest is 1.5 years old. I spent yesterday 4 hours with that child, just full of love. My heart was so much love. Well, that's estrogen. My testosterone wasn't being pumped up. I wasn't really doing a lot, but just being with this child. Well, I went to bed at 8 o'clock and slept for 12 hours. My body's like, okay, I needed a lot of sleep. Sleep also rebuilds hormones for both men and women. Very, very important. Extra zinc, very important for men. Very, very important to make the testosterone. Vitamin D, very important for everybody, some sunshine. Exercise, of course, is good for both estrogen and testosterone. But women should know that when they're doing really hard exercise, it's not really building estrogen. Although you can build, don't push it so hard, as my suggestion for women. But having a coach, if it's that kind of a exercise, is really good. Anytime you're dependent on somebody else for help, your estrogen goes up. Anytime you're depending on yourself to achieve, your testosterone goes up. So we all need to find that balance. But the romance factor in this takes it to another notch. It doubles our hormones. And what that is having someone do things for you, for a woman, having someone do things for you that you don't have to do for yourself. Okay. You could do for yourself, but you don't have to do. Think of the metaphor of old-fashioned romantic gesture of going to the car and the man opening the door, right? Now, my wife looked at me and said, "Oh, I can do that." I said, "Yes, of course you can do that. But you give so much to me and our family. Let me take care of you tonight." See, that's the romantic thing. Let me do something. Yeah, you can do it yourself, but let me add that extra, not all the time. Let her, she's independent. She's quite capable, but there needs to be this place where you can ask and you can get. And if you're single, dating is just simply, rather than date to be with the perfect person, create a series of fun dates, women, where you can basically ask men to do things for you and they'll be happy to do it for you as long as you smile. All a man, there's research showing that if a man can do something, for a single man can do something and a woman smiles, his testosterone goes up. It's basic human nature. It doesn't all have to be about sex, although sex can take it to a higher level. But the bottom line is we all need to balance our hormones, and we need to be in situations for men in service of others, and then in service of people who are more unconditional. It's like, it's not fully unconditional because I'm doing it because I know that it's going to make you happy. My wife says to me, "I can't believe what a perfect husband you are. You're so generous. You're so giving. You're so there for me." And I say, I'm generous, but you have to know I'm also very, very selfish. I'm so selfish, but I do all these things because I know I have to do them if I want a happy wife. And I want a happy wife. Okay, so that's I do not want an unhappy wife. So I will do whatever it takes. And if men just understood, it's a lot of little things is what it takes to support a woman in finding her happiness again and again. And also not demanding that she be happy all the time. Okay, which is she has her mood, she has the shifts take place, and it's not all up to him. But what he can do to help is a lot, particularly by being a good listener, not interrupting, being patient, and also practicing this another little biohack, and then I'll finish up this part, which is you raise your hand for 5 fingers. That means you're going to make a request. This is the woman. You're going to make a request that will take less than 5 minutes. And what I want is for you to do it without any grumbles, without any resistance, but with being overjoyed, okay? Like you're so thrilled to do it. And every man I've ever talked to about this with the right explanation and motivation, once he understands this is a big deal, not a little deal, they're happy to do it if it's 5 minutes. This is the woman you work for, you do all these things for. This is 5 minutes to do something that she would normally do for herself. It has to be something she would do for herself that she doesn't have to do. And so that might be a foot massage. It might be clean up the kitchen, might be empty the trash. But the other side of this dynamic is he doesn't just do it. Now, this is a hurdle for women to overcome, is she has to ask for it. Because see, this is where women have this sort of stuck in this childish belief, which is if he loves me, he'll automatically do it. Men only do what we have to do. And not what I'm teaching men, and you can explain to them, this is something you have to do for me, but it only takes 5 minutes. And men goes, okay, then I don't feel so controlled or manipulated or anything. Just has to understand the logic of it. And this is the great thing, is not only does doing that for her work, but anticipation is one of the biggest estrogen stimulators there are. So like if you have a regular date planned in advance, you already know where you're going to go. So on Saturday night, I'll talk to my wife, or Saturday during the day, I say, let's talk about what we're going to do next week. And then I ask her 3 things she wants to do. Her doing for me is not romantic. Feels good, it's nice, but it's not the romantic feeling. It's the selflessness where a man does for a woman. So she tells me 3 things. I pick, that's me, the leader, I'll do it. And she can relax. She knows that he's chosen to do it. So she has no weight of responsibility. Is he going to like it? Is he not? Because women go through so much in terms of asking a man, Is he going to be irritated? Is he going to be annoyed? Is he going to feel resentful? Is he going to feel sacrificed for me? You know, we have all this confusion going on. Really, it's very simple with men. You just say, here's 3 things I like to do. And if he says, well, what about me? When do I get to do what I want to do? Say, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. But this is romance. And romance is when a man provides for a woman something she could provide for herself, but doesn't have to. But this higher level of romance is her male side and her female side. Her male side is taking charge, taking responsibility to get what she wants. It's like her protector. So you say, oh, honey, would you do this for me? Then when he does it, your female side responds with appreciation, and you're being vulnerable. To ask is a very vulnerable act. And the thing that turns men on the most, and turning a man on means raising his testosterone high, is a woman's vulnerability. And we know that, simply put, you know, when guys look at pictures of naked women, they get excited at a young age. So, okay, but what is it? She's being vulnerable. See, she's showing what she doesn't show anybody else. But what we want is, we're enlightened people here. It's physical excitement's going to go away unless we have the vulnerable of the emotional body, of the mental body. So she has to reveal the insecurities, the doubts, and whatever. So I'll close with another of my favorite ones I do with my wife. Every day, it's part of our routine. At some point, sometimes after I found her with a hug, she'll say, do you love me? And I say, yes. Not, of course, not, well, why do you think I do these things? No, just to be able to say, do you love me? I said, yes. Then she says, how much do you love me? With all my heart. Then she says, do you think I'm beautiful? I think you're so beautiful. Am I the only one for you? You're the only one for me. Are you glad you married me? I'm so glad I'm so happy. You're the one for me. I love you so much. You see, even imagining her asking me those questions allows me to feel more masculinity, because what happens for men is we disconnect from our feelings a lot. But when we say something, the feelings will follow. When we say something that's needed, the feelings will follow. And so it's like a super affirmation in your relationships. You know, we all know the power of repeating things over and over. Well, we make sure to say it every day in our relationship. And then for those that are making love, when we make love, we do it in the middle of making love. It's so much more fun. It brings energy up into the heart, into the mind. It doesn't have to be this quiet thing. And we're going to live longer and happier, healthier. This is the benefit of romance, love, and the new modern age.
Wow. Now, the good news is we're going to take a music break. We're going to come back to John and answer your questions. We'll start with the question that I saw Piper put into the chat box. So everybody put your questions into the chat box for John. And in a moment, Tangela will share a little bit about what you guys are doing. But I just want to remind everybody that you can find out all things John Gray by going to his website. And of course, his website is marsvenus.com. marsvenus.com. You know, a lot of us, including myself, live in Marin County. And if you go to events to see John Gray live, John's going to be doing an in-person live event right here in Marin County, August 2nd through the 4th. So you can get more details about it by going to his website. There's all sorts of things on John's website. So definitely go to marsvenus.com. He has books, he has courses, and now he has Tangela. So Tangela, share with the audience about what you guys are doing.
Definitely. And thanks so much, John. And so for all of you watching, you know, the amount of information that John is sharing with us about relationships, romance, the biohacks, the longevity. This is just a small taste of everything that John has to offer. And I think, John, one of the things that you've chatted with me about is that, you know, all of the biohacks and the biology of what you speak, you haven't even really written about it in your 23 other books. There's actually a lot more now that you're sharing to really help people understand how, you know, understanding our biology, what are the biohacks, and how can that support us both in our personal relationships, our romance, as well as our living and longevity and youthfulness. So there's so much that you're sharing, and John is actually doing a 6-week relationship mastery course with us. It'll be starting August 8th. All of you guys can tune in. You can go to soulsearch.io/relationship mastery. We put it in the chat. We'll put it up later. And George is asking, what book has the biohacks for singles? Well, John, you can answer that question later. But definitely, you know, if you want to dive in with John even more deeply, he's going to be doing the 6-week course, 2-hour classes, 1.5 hours of teaching, 30 minutes of Q&A where you can bring your questions. And whether you're single, you're dating, you're married, you're in partnership, definitely this class has a lot to offer. You know, John gives all types of tools and practices to sustain and grow the love in your relationships, as well as if you're dating, he gives a lot of practical advice. Or if you're not dating but want to start dating, he gives a lot of practical advice, and you can bring your questions, and that's where it gets really exciting, really juicy, because obviously, you know, when people begin to share their own personal stories, and John really is able to work with each one of you in a much deeper way. So definitely, if you're interested in going deeper with John Gray, he has a masterclass coming up starting August 7th. It's going to be every Wednesday, 5 to 7 p.m. For 6 weeks, and you can sign up on SoulSearch.io. And also, for many of you asked about his meditation. So John does do a weekly Radiant Mind meditation. You can watch this on the SoulSearch.io Instagram. So just follow us on Instagram. You can watch it on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. So I put those all in the chat, facebook.com, SoulSearch.io, youtube.com at SoulSearch33, and Instagram.com at SoulSearch.io. And, you know, all of you know John as this amazing, trusted relationship expert. But what many of you don't know is that he was the personal assistant to the founder of Transcendental Meditation. And he has been a profound meditation practitioner for 50 years. And he is bringing all of that experience and resonance when he's bringing through these meditations. And John, one of the things I love about your meditations that I find so unique, that I've actually started to incorporate in meditations that I lead now, is that you really do, you have us go into what we would call like the negative feelings. You know, you have us go into that energy, feel those feelings as well, and then release and work through and move further and move higher. So that's a very powerful practice I've found in the meditations that we've been doing together so far. And so I invite all of you to join us 7 a.m. on Wednesdays. You can also watch the replay on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, but come and join us live and share in the energies. We always have an amazing group coming together every Wednesday morning. And John, you credit all of your worldly success, your prolific 23 books, all of your bestsellers, to your powerful meditation practices and techniques.
Well, that and also good relationship skills. I learned everything I know about relationships through my marriage with Bonnie.
Wow, amazing.
And I continue learning with my new wife now. Okay, relationships, there's such a pathway to experience personal growth, because anything we resist in our partners is a block inside of ourselves. It's a place where we're not being patient, we're not being respectful, we're not being understanding, we're not loving ourselves, we're becoming defensive. You know, you can measure, you know, it's really easy when I was this celibate monk to be happy all the time because I had no reflection where somebody I was depending on for my fulfillment. It was all just looking within myself. And that's, I mean, that's not easy for everybody, but when you have a good meditation practice and a monk's lifestyle, it's, you have the tools to overcome it quite easily. But in a relationship, now she could be in a bad mood. Well, why is that a problem for me? Let me help you here, honey. But see, what happens is we get attached. Men get attached to, I can't feel good if you don't feel good. Well, there's a thing called empathy, which is I can feel good, but also feel pain, your pain. See, that's the whole thing, is be able to feel it over there. That's how I connect with my feelings, primarily through being there for her. And she gains objectivity to when her emotions sort of overtake her, or she's in a bad mood, whatever. It's only one part of us, the more optimistic part. You just need more objectivity. And so I can provide that for her. And when I don't, then I have a block. Then whatever she's struggling with is something I need to look at within myself. It's such a challenge. Relationships are really if you have the right skills, it can be quite easy, and it gets easier and easier. But without the skills, oh my gosh, it's just suffering.
Wow. So yeah, I mean, and we did actually a great interview for Soul Search TV on relationships as a path to enlightenment. So for those of you guys who want to dive deeper into that topic, you can check out that interview also with John on Soul Search TV. So thanks, John. We're going to take a break and do some music now, right, Scott?
Absolutely. And get your questions. I'll line them up.
I see a lot of questions coming in on the
A lot
chat.
of questions coming in. And we are going to go to the wonderful Tatiana Speed. I am so grateful whenever Tatiana blesses us with her presence. Welcome back to the Awakening World, Tatiana.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for having me. And I just want to say I was just so touched by John's share. That just melted my heart. And John, I've actually read a few of your books, and actually I found my forever person, and your book actually really saved our relationship at a pivotal moment. So, and I've never actually heard you talk live before. Your books have just lived in my home my whole life. My mom had your books. They've just always been on my bookshelf. I've never heard you speak before, and there's just so much love coming through you. And I just feel like very blessed to be here today to hear you speak. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. And I feel inspired to share some love songs tonight because of this lovely topic. So this song is called, actually this doesn't have a name. I don't know if I've ever played it really live before. Yeah, so this is the unnamed song that I'll play you to start. Oh, let me come to you gently. Let me come to you softly. Let me come slowly. Lead me out into the forest and lay me down beneath the sky. The heavens above us will remember how we loved, how we loved. I just remembered that I don't think I turned my original sound on. Oh, I did. Okay,
Great. Sounds great.
good. Okay, good. The heavens above us will remember how we loved, how we loved. And oh, there's truly nothing left to do but give my heart to you and face the unknown. What's the point of this life anyways, if not to love this way? With all that I have, we'll make the angels cry with how we loved, with how we loved, with how we loved. We'll make the angels cry with how we love, how we love, how we love. In 1,000 years, nothing will remain of us. So let's love deeply, love each other completely. In 1,000 years, nothing will remain of us. So let's love deeply, love each other completely. In 1,000 years, nothing will remain of us, but how we loved, how we loved. In 1,000 years, nothing will remain of us, but how we loved, but how we loved. Oh, but how we loved, but how we loved. So let's love deeply, love each other completely.
That's all I give Tatiana, just the most beautiful twinkles. What a perfect song after, or actually in between John Gray, Wisdom. Just perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt that. I felt in his speaking that it was touching exactly what I'm, that we're here to love each other fully and learn the art of loving each other fully and completely, and finding the tools so that the blocks to that love pouring forth for each other, for this earth, is unwound and unbound, and just so we can love here on the earth.
You're absolutely right. You've probably heard me say it before, but all the near-death experience research shows that when people are out there, they're always shown the meaning of life, and the meaning of life is always a variation on the theme of we're here to learn to love, usually starting with ourselves.
Yeah. Truth, 100%.
I remind everybody that you can get all things Tatiana at her website. And her website is her name, TatianaSpeed.com. I had just the most wonderful opportunity to be a part of her providing this upcoming experience, which are lullabies for adults. There was a group of us that listened to her play these songs, and actually had the recordings for a little while before she brought them back to, I guess, probably perfect them in her wonderful musical artistic ways. This album is so gorgeous. It'll be arriving in a few months, but now is a good time to go there, click, get on the mailing list. Falling asleep, you heard her voice just now. Imagine falling asleep at the end of the night to that beautiful, beautiful voice. It's just divine. So
yeah. Thank you, Scott. And the lullabies for adults are not even just to fall asleep. They're really about just creating a sense of safety, and so that we feel safe to be on the planet, and safe to be in our bodies. And then from there, we have access to so much more of our love and who we came here to be, just by creating that sense of somatic dropped in safety. So
thank you for reminding me, because I used them to go to sleep.
yeah, you use that.
But you're right. They're perfect. If someone is stressed, to just listen, put on the headphones and listen to that song and calm the nervous system. And
Exactly. Yeah.
we live in stressful times, and you have this ability to help calm our nervous system. I was just working with clients today that are hypervigilant, and they need your music. People who are hypervigilant need to calm that down. So thank you, Tatiana. Tatiana is going to be with us for another song in a little while, so stick around. Thank you. John, how did you enjoy Tatiana's song?
Oh, and romantic love. I feel so good. What I say to this is that, see, we have our male side, which is spacious. It's in a sense what Buddha said: go to samadhi, forget everything. It's nothingness, and that's pure masculinity. And for me, of many years, all these years of meditation, I have that. I'm anchored in that. So for me, the richness of connecting with that pure love that she was expressing, just by connecting to her, then I'm both on my male and female side. This is often why women often don't understand why men will get married so soon after a divorce or a loss or something. It's on average, a man gets married 3 years after a divorce or a loss. That's the average. For women, it's 9 years and often never.
Wow.
Most often never. Because for women, they can find love in so many different ways. See, we all need love and connection, but women, because of their high estrogen, they can depend on different things. But for a man particularly, his children can do it, but also a woman. If a woman can feel in response to his actions, then he will feel what she feels, and his female side rises up. So we are much more dependent on women than women are dependent on us. But we are dependent on women needing us. This has been the big challenge for men, as women wander around thinking, I don't really need a man. Kind of men are sort of, what am I supposed to do? So they aimlessly, have their addictions and other things that they become dependent on, rather than having someone be dependent on them. And I'm talking using dependent in a good sense. Okay, in a good sense, like I depend on food, I depend on everyone listening to me, I depend on you to bring me out into the world like this. It's not like a demanding or a needy, or I can't do it, I'll die without you. It's finding the right balance. But this is our female side, this is our male side, and we want to honor both those sides. And I saw some of the questions while I was take a break there, and I know one was, I want to make sure I get, is for the women who are beyond menopause.
Right, that was where I was going to lead. Yeah, so if you could start with that one.
Yeah. So basically, it's after menopause, you do make estrogen, by the way, just not nearly as much as when you were young. Your ovaries are no longer going to make the estrogen. So then what happens is your adrenal gland can make estrogen, and it can make testosterone. It makes both of those. And the balance that a woman needs to find after menopause is making sure her testosterone, which is easy to make, okay, whenever you're feeling, oh, nobody takes care of me, I have to do everything myself, it's a fear reaction. You just go right to testosterone. But when you're feeling safe, then you have to take the risk to depend on others for things. You've had a whole life where you've been disappointed and betrayed, and you had your hopes up and it didn't happen. So you get a little jaded. You figure, I'll just do it myself. It's much easier. It gets done better. But then you're doing it all alone. So the idea there is to know that your body can make estrogen. And also for many women in their 80s and 70s, they even have active sex lives. Estrogen is very important for women to enjoy sex. And it's just making sure that they're staying in balance with doing the things that nurture the female side, along with the easy road is to be more independent. You're more confident, you're more reliable, so, hey, I can do it better than anybody else. So why do I need anybody? So another way of holding that is, I may be able to do it better than everybody, and I can do it easier. But what I need most is also to balance it with the emotional support of feeling I'm not alone. So that was the key factor with that one. I saw another one, which is biohacks for dating, and biohacks for self-love. If you're a man, a biohack for dating is provide, plan, and go on dates. And don't hold back because you're trying to find the perfect person. I say the same thing for women. Make yourself available to the men who maybe are not the men that you would pursue. When you're pursuing a man, you're on your male side. And if you're single, usually it's because you're on your male side. You want to strengthen the female side of you, which will attract the right men to you. But what happens when your female side is weak and you then pursue men, you tend to always pursue the wrong men. So there's a group of women who always say, we go on a date, never calls back, and everything was so good. You made love. He doesn't call back. What happened? Well, you keep picking the wrong guys because you're following this Geiger counter inside that says, oh, I'm turned on to him, I want to pursue him. Usually that's the wrong guy. You want to practice your new relationship skills with the men who are attracted to you that don't necessarily right away show up as somebody you want to be with. But this is someone that you can have a good time with, as long as you're not expecting them to be your soulmate. And you can practice some of these hacks on dating. So a few hacks on dating. I have a whole book on that, which is called Mars, Venus on a Date. And many people love that book. It's all about being authentic. And as a woman, to be authentic on a date is to share whatever your truth is, as long as your truth is not trying to change the man or argue with the man, but having a separate point of view. But if you have a tendency to be a people pleaser, which many women have, and if you're pursuing a man, that tendency will come out really strong. So find a man that you're not really pursuing at all, but who's really pursuing you, and and use him. Basically, remember what I said, if a man takes you to dinner, for example, and he pays for the meal, you don't owe him anything, just enjoy the meal, be good company. They've shown that raises a man's testosterone. It's a gift to him. It's a blessing to him to have a happy woman around him based on something he did. Now, for a man in the dating, the hack would be listen more. For women, talk more, which is the opposite of what people will tend to do. Women will tend to go on dates and ask lots of questions to create conversation. They don't want to fit the stereotype of the woman who talks too much. Actually, talk. This is how only way of man listening to you is how he can get to know you and penetrate into you. That's the male energy through listening. But with some conversation, but don't let him go on and talk all the time. Like me, if you ask me questions, I'll just keep talking and talking and talking. Men love solving problems, having a point of view, expressing themselves. But that's because a woman asks for the questions. Now, some men don't talk much at all. Then you have to ask a couple of questions, but quickly interrupt them with, that's a good idea. That makes sense. I haven't thought of that. And then express your point of view times 3 or 4. Also, I saw a question about, women. Now, when you're sharing in your relationship, whether it be in a date or whether it be in your marriage, women need to share to raise their estrogen. Very big thing. When you feel heard and seen, estrogen levels go up, period. So you put yourself out there. And of course, anytime you do something, allows your estrogen to go up in the presence of a man, his testosterone will go up. This is biological resonance. It will automatically happen. It's also biological in terms of when estrogen goes up, you put out pheromones. That a man has an extra little flap inside of his nose, he picks up those pheromones and it says, oh, I'm interested in you. However, what you want to focus on is your authentic point of view, which is don't try to be always, not that all women do this, but you don't have to agree with this perspective. Have a different point of view. Ultimately, differences make you very attractive to a man or to a woman, as long as you're not trying to change the other person. Now, coming back to that other point, I talked about venting. Someone was talking about, yes, I get home, I do it for 15 minutes and I feel better. That's the important thing. And the key to this is venting what has bothered you during the day that's not going to be heard as blame to the man. You don't want to just share a bunch of feelings that blame him. That just knock his testosterone down and he'll become exhausted and tired and not want to listen anymore. You want to share things that he's not going to hear as if it's my fault. And you also want to remind him when you're sharing, I just need you to listen. You don't have to do anything. I'll feel better just sharing with you. And then after you've shared for a while, maybe you're unhappy about something, frustrated about something, you have concerns, worries, you feel hurt, maybe you feel, I don't know what to do, whatever your vulnerability is, always make sure you come back to, but it's so good to talk about it. I appreciate I could talk, or a few smiles in, go for the hug. So he can see this magic thing that women can do, which is they can talk about problems, and without anybody solving it, she can feel good again. Okay, this is what we do primarily in therapy a lot, is women will just talk, and you'd be a good questioner, a good listener, get her to talk about deeper feelings, what's happening, and then she'll feel better. What's the mystery? Why does she feel better? Not because now she has this great solution to all her problems, although that might come by just being able to share. She's able now to see it from a different point of view. But it's also just, it raises estrogen. And when estrogen goes up, women's stress levels go down, and things that were big problems become very little problems. And the things that are good show up as big. So these are just things men don't know. And also women don't understand that just venting feelings is not something you should do to your husband. If you're blaming him or criticizing him or complaining to him, that just knocks him down. And keep in mind, all complaints, you can actually, with a little bit more awareness, you can stop complaining at all and realize behind any complaint you have is a request. So you don't have to, this guy's, the main reason he's with you is he wants you to see you be happy. So he's motivated. Just keep him motivated by giving him the message that he's good enough and he can help you. Men are just so easy when you understand them. I know we're very complex because women read into everything, but we are pretty simple once you understand us. And while I'm talking about that, I will mention at my website, marsvenus.com, we do have our most popular class is called Understanding Men. And it's for women only. But if you're in a relationship with a man, it's fun to do it together. But it's a 6-week course online that you can take as well. It's just amazing. Women just go, wow, I didn't realize this. I didn't know this, because we unknowingly sabotage ourselves and our relationships when we don't understand where our partners are coming from and how we can bring out the best in them. So Tangela, was there any other questions you want me to answer here, or Scott? I'd read a few. I think I covered most of them.
There was one that I really wanted to make sure that you addressed, and you got most of them. It was, I'm scrolling back up to find it. It was from Piper, her second question. John, there are many women who are post-relationship trauma, abused, etc. It appears common that this experience causes hyper-individualism, which is sometimes defined as a trauma response to remain safe to avoid hurt. What are the biohacks for releasing this deeply embedded unconscious trauma to release the heart to be open to love again without fear?
I love that question, and being clear about the goal, which is that's my goal. I want to be able to heal this trauma. And I've seen that two major parts of healing trauma is being able to reflect on every disappointment that occurred in the relationship. Okay, so you have to go back in time, and you have to imagine yourself going back to that time and being able to express what it was you were feeling in terms of a deeper way, what I'm angry about. And there's 6 levels to this: what I'm angry about, what I feel disappointed and sad about, what I'm afraid of, or I'm afraid that, or I'm scared about, and what I feel bad about, what I regret. So that's 4 levels of processing a wound. A trauma always has 4 levels to it. Sometimes you can't find them, but they're there, but you can start with what you can. For example, if you have anxiety, you start to go on a date, think about going on a date again. You're going to feel your fear. Okay, what are you afraid of? I'm afraid of being hurt. I'm afraid of being disappointed. I'm afraid of a man's anger. I'm afraid I have something wrong with me. I picked the wrong guys, whatever it might be. So you have to identify the conscious brain has to give words to these emotions in order to heal them. If we just sort of in our feeling of anxiousness or fear, or if we don't act, if we let our fears hold us back, we're giving more reality to our fears. That's what people don't realize. It's this point I'm making is most parents know this, but if a child falls off the horse, you quickly put them back on the horse. Because if you go, oh, I'm afraid, I'm not going to do it. Every time you avoid getting on a horse, your fear, the reality of the fear is I can't trust myself on a horse, or I can't trust horses, becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. So my encouragement is to follow my dating advice, which is go on a series of dates, not from the point of view of finding the right person, not to have sex, but to have men do things for you and practice new skills. And that's one thing, is take action, start dating again, but not to get married, not to do anything serious. You don't have to take off your clothes. Just go on a nice date. Guys are lonely today. So you go on a date, that's A. And B, then you process the fears that come up around that by going back to a time in your life where you were hurt. And hurt in the sense of you weren't seen, you weren't treated with respect, and feel the disappointment. What were your expectations? Feel your anger. Usually if you're stuck in fear, and anybody who doesn't get back on the horse again, it's fear, either conscious or subconscious fear, that's holding you back. You want to break that by one, having act as if and go on a date. But the other one is look at what fears come up. That's like gold. Because if you can feel the fear, then feel what you're disappointed about. Then feel what you're angry about. Because whenever you're disappointed, you're also, someone has not fulfilled your expectation. And that's the hard thing for women, is to feel the anger until they have to build a big story. And the only story that can produce the anger is some terrible story that men are awful. But that's okay. If it gets the anger up, that's good. Then come back to feeling your regret, because that's the other third element here. Start dating, process your emotions, and then recognize how you contributed to the problems in that relationship. Because if you feel powerless, if you feel victimized in a relationship, it means that you can't, then you have no power. It's going to happen again and again and again, unless you can realize, where did I go wrong? What was my mistake? What was my other mistake? What was my mistake? And learn what I could have done differently. And that's what you practice when you're doing the dating thing, is learning not to be a people pleaser, not to give more than you were getting, not to live in a fantasy world, expecting that which is unrealistic, starting to learn what is realistic and how realistic can actually be very fulfilling. So there's a lot of dynamics that go in there. So when you're reading the dating book, you can see the mistakes you commonly make. Read Men Are From Mars, you'll clearly see the mistakes you make. And then, of course, the other big book on this is a book called Why Mars and Venus Collide. It's filled with all the ways men and women unknowingly sabotage their relationships. There's not one person that's ever come in my room that I couldn't list 10 things you're doing wrong after you tell me 10 minutes of what you think your partner did wrong. I've done this 50 years, right? So, but we just don't realize it. We don't know what the man's doing wrong. It's never one person doing wrong. It's making mistakes. And had we known, we could have got a different outcome. That's the whole thing. If I was giving a seminar on success, sometimes I do that. First thing I say is, okay, now, if you want to be more successful, what's the first thing you have to do? Is you have to make a change. You can't blame other people for your lack of success. You have to look at what you're doing and how you have to change what you're doing. Because if you keep doing the same thing, you'll get the same results. So if you have a clear awakening, okay, how I could do this differently, that will inspire you with hope. It will give you faith. It will help motivate you, help open your heart again. And there are so many stories that I've heard of people after reading Men Are From Mars where they were divorced or separated. And I hear these in the airport all the time. People come up to me, we were divorced and we read your book, we got back together, because they were able to see that we thought we were just too different. We loved each other, but we're just too different. And so when you understand the differences are a good thing, if we can understand them in a positive way and use those differences to come closer together.
We're already a half hour over, but I'm going to ask one last question.
Okay.
Because it is important. And then maybe if you can see what else is in the chat box or respond to people in the chat box. This is from Dorina Joy down in Ecuador. She writes, thanks, John. What are your best biohacks for experiencing self-love for those who are happy to be single?
Yeah, so when you read my books on everything I've been saying about testosterone and estrogen and your choices to be single, self-love is actually doing those things that will balance your hormones. So when in my book, I list out, in the Beyond Mars and Venus book, I list out all these things a woman can do for herself to raise estrogen, all these things a man can do for himself to raise testosterone. For example, for me, a form of self-love is fasting. Whenever I fast, I know I'm doing something good for my body, and it's also a discipline. Whenever a man does something that's challenging or a little difficult, his testosterone will go up. So it's more important for men to do that. Although for women, fasting can be a very, very loving thing to do for your body. I'm hearing more and more reports of women. Mindy Perez is teaching women to start fasting, but do fasting for just a day and a half after ovulation. At that time of the month is really good for women. And great results from that. So that's taking care of your health. Make sure that you're, as a woman, that you're doing things where other people are doing things for you, like go to a yoga class where somebody's guiding you through it, as opposed to just doing yoga alone at home. That's what I do. I do yoga alone at home. I don't need to be in a group to do my yoga. And I remember going to India, all the yogis, we're all in the caves, they're all in the forest, they do it themselves. That's the male thing, do it yourself. But the females, it's do it together. Taking dancing lessons, if you're a woman, very, very key. Now you've got the freestyle dancing, the new age dancing where everybody's doing their own thing. There is estrogen and testosterone being produced there. However, more estrogen gets produced when you're dancing with somebody who's guiding you and leading you if you're a woman. And for men, if you're guiding and leading a woman in a dance and leading her where she wants to go, so to speak, which is the essence of romance, which is what we've been talking today, you're basically going to be producing estrogen in her. And if you're skilled at dancing, you're going to be able to provide for her what she's wanting. Your testosterone will go up for a man. So dance classes, learning new things for women, particularly where you're depending on someone for guidance and support. This is how you love yourself. Your self-esteem goes up when you do the things that will help your female estrogen. For men, when your testosterone goes up. Now, do things that you like to do. That's something for a woman to love herself. You do things that you like to do. For men, you want to love yourself. Do things that are challenging to do. Do things that you have to do. Set goals every day. Write out your goals. There's something that happens in your brain where you make more testosterone if you write out your goals. Just like with estrogen, you produce more estrogen when you write out what you're feeling. These are the feeling letters I talk about in all my books as a powerful biohack to process our emotions. But for men, it's setting goals. What am I going to do today? I do it the night before. I know exactly what I'm going to do the next day. I sleep on it. My brain's all ready for it. It's prepared to go forward. And if you're procrastinating and you're a man, you're not loving yourself. So just know, if I want to love myself more, if I want to build my self-esteem, at least do some things that you're not procrastinating with. Write out what I plan to do and do it. These are some ways of self-love.
John, thank you so much. You just provide so much wisdom. And of course, everybody, you can get much more by going to his weekly class starting August 7th on Soul Search. We've put all the information into the chat box. And thank you so much, John, for being who you are in this world. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you, Soul Search. So happy to be working with you, Tangela.
Thanks so much, John. And we're so happy and blessed to be working with you. And for all of you, tune in, join us on Wednesday on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, and connect with us for the meditation. John, your Wednesday meditation will be on higher levels of consciousness this coming week. So
right, we did healing the past. We do a lot of different themes in our meditations.
So every week is a different theme, different practice. And so this week, higher levels of consciousness. Join us at 7 a.m. Pacific on Wednesday. Tune in online, and we have so many people that join in from all over the world. So it's really exciting. And then, of course, join us for the Relationship Master Class, Men Are from Mars, Women Are from Venus for the Modern World. And that starts August 7th. And also come see John Gray live at the Soul Search Expo, June 30th. And Scott will also be there with Eden Amadora. So come get more of John live. If you are in the Bay Area, he will be in San Rafael, June 30th. So come to his talk, dive in more deeply, bring your questions. And of course, he has his live class August 2nd through 4th in Corte Madera. So you can do an even deeper dive with John. You can find all those details at marsvenus.com events. So lots more to share. John, you always have so much information, and we're just so excited that we get to share all of this with you and the world. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dr. Laura, Dr. Laura in the chat box, John just wrote, John, you are the Library of Alexandria of relationships. That's a good one. God bless you, John. I'll see you next Sunday in San Rafael.
See you there.
All right. Well, that was a lot to digest. And we're going to go to Omashar in a moment for a song. But, when we first started doing these shows over 4 years ago, when the pandemic began, we always did fundraising. And we've done fundraising for a lot of our people. We did fundraising for Eleanor Joy, and now she's back out of the hospital dancing and looking fantastic. And now we are really putting a lot of our fundraising focus into our beloved friend, Piper Dellums. And Piper, of course, has been just a tremendous contributor to this show, but to the world. She has helped women that have been abused and traumatized. She has made amazing films and videos. She's, of course, the daughter of Ron Dellums, one of the great, in a time that most of our political leaders are disappointing, to say the least. Her father was one of the great political leaders of our time. And she's a magnificent woman. I call her my friend, and she needs our help now. So please, I first of all want to acknowledge, I'm looking at the list of people who donated recently, and they're all Global Peace Tribers. So for those of you who have donated already, thank you. Please donate again. Even $5 means a lot, because then she says, oh, wow, this person thought enough to send me $5 or $10 or $2 or $100, whatever you feel called. I'm going to put the link into the chat box. For those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube, the link is at the very top of my Facebook page. So you can go and find it there, or just go to GoFundMe and put in Piper Dellums, and this will come right up. So thank you, everybody, again, for supporting this woman that we love so much. She needs our green energy, and she also needs our prayer energy. So I'm going to bring Omashar up. I'd like to ask that we just take a moment and send maximum grace to Piper Dellums. Maximum grace to Piper Dellums. Oh, there she is. She's on camera now. There she is. Maximum grace for Piper Dellums. Maximum grace for Piper Dellums. Maximum grace for beloved Piper Dellums. We love you, sister. And while Omashar is blessing us with his music, I really want to invite everybody to please go to GoFundMe and donate to Piper.
I am with you here inside. Don't worry, don't worry. And I love you more than you could know. So come along now and lay your head on my heart, on my heart. Close your eyes, dear, and rest a while in me. Keep open your heart and let in the sun, and bathe yourself in the garden of one. Know you're at home and in my embrace. Here is divine grace. A step towards me, toward me. I can feel your longing to be home. So come along now and lay your head on my heart, on my heart. Close your eyes, dear, and rest a while in me. Open your heart and let in the sun. Bathe yourself in the garden of one. Know you're at home and in my embrace. Here is divine grace. Here is divine grace. Ba-da-dum-ba. I can feel your longing to be home. Keep open your heart and let in the sun, and bathe yourself in the garden of one. Know you're at home and in my embrace. Here is divine grace. Divine grace. Here is empty space.
I love that song. As all give Omashar twinkles and appreciation.
It was my song to you, Piper. I love you, sweetheart. We are with you on the inside and the outside.
I love you too, Omashar. That song really, really touched me. Thank you, Scott. I feel like I'm constantly crying on this show, but that was so beautiful. Tatiana, both of you. And wow, just having a moment to listen to the depth of wisdom from John that just spoke volumes of healing inside of my temple. And I'm so grateful. But that song, Omashar, just right down to the cells. Thank you, my love. Thank you. God bless you.
Bless you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Ah, what a beautiful Gold Peace Tribe we're all blessed to be a part of. And I'm going to turn over to Tangela to introduce two very special guests.
Yes, definitely. And so, of course, maximum grace, blessings, and infinite healing to Piper. Sending you so much love. And thank you both, Omashar and Tatiana, for beautiful songs. Really so touching and heart opening. We're so blessed here. And we are blessed to be joined by a wonderful couple and dynamic duo, AJ and Tom, speaking from source. They share divine intelligence by channeling the guides, and they are simultaneous dual channels that channel a collective of high frequency spiritual beings from multiple planes and dimensions, including ascended masters, galactic star family, angelic beings, and many. So with great love, humor, and wisdom, the guides help individuals and groups better understand the events and circumstances of their lives from a universal perspective and really support individuals to align with universal truth and find the abundance and joy that is their birthright. So welcome, AJ and Tom. I'm so excited and happy to have you with us. You always share so much love and joy. And for all of you, I did mention it earlier, and I'll mention it again later, but AJ and Tom have a fantastic show on Soul Search TV, Infinite Pathway, so you can continue to really dive in and receive their transmissions there as well. So welcome, guys. So happy you could join us.
Oh, what a great night. We're delighted to be here.
Absolutely. So thrilled.
Wonderful. And so tell us a little bit about what you're going to be sharing tonight.
Well, we're going to be bringing in the wisdom of the guides and answering your questions as well. And it's a very interesting time right now. The guides have had a lot to say because we are opening to our own wisdom. We're connecting to Gaia and Mother Earth, which is, of course is opening and ascending to its own wisdom as well as we align our energies and these springs of inner knowing, inner tuition come forward. And for some of us, we don't always understand what's going on in our environment, or, what's going on in our environment is exactly the opposite of what we're feeling on the inside. And so we love the opportunity to bring through the guides because they see from the perspective of source, from the perspective of who you are, lifetime over lifetime, your eternal soul's trajectory. And they're able to explain your current situations, how everything serves you. Everything serves you, although it may not seem like it at the time. How to see yourself, how to see others, and how to develop a deeper relationship with your guides.
So that's one of the things that I think has been most exciting that we've learned from the guides. And we sit at the front of the classroom. I have to tell you, we try to apply everything that we learn because it's so incredible. But one of those things the guides often say, and we've learned not to watch the news as much, but after watching just a little bit of news, you kind of go to the guides and go, what is going on? We are about to blow. What is the matter? And they always say all is well. And they say all is well. And it took us a while to figure out what they meant. And what they meant by that is you are adored. We are all adored. And we are an awakening world. That's why we love the name of this podcast. And we love this podcast, the people in it. But we really love the name of this because from the guide's perspective, we are watching a world come awake. And what's interesting is the guides have talked to us about what that actually means. What does it mean to awaken? Because of course these terms become a bit cliche. And what they mean by this is two things. We become awake to ourselves. we become to really know who we are from Source's perspective, which can be very different than our own. We tend to focus on our foibles, on our faults, on the mistakes, on the things we do wrong. And Source never focuses on that. Source is always interested in what we've learned and where we've grown as a result of any of our circumstances or any of our experiences. And then the other part of that is really becoming awake to all of the power and potential of the universe. Really, all the things that are going on in the unseen world that we are all waking up to start to notice for the first time. And that's also so very exciting. And so we're just delighted because whenever we ask questions, the divine is right there, ready to answer those questions for us in a variety of ways. And we're just delighted to kind of be a part of it.
Yeah, it's fascinating. The more you get in touch with yourself and in touch with your guides and everything around you, you realize that they're always carrying you forward. Your circumstances and the people that you're with are all serving to carry you forward, to illuminate you in new ways and understandings. And probably the number one question we get is, how can I know my guides? How can I be in better contact with our guides? And our guides that we channel, because we channel for ourselves at least once a week to get insight as well. They say we're with you, and we're with you with every intake and every outtake of breath. And it's amazing the intimacy that they are able to show, and the care and the love that they're able to show. And we certainly hope that comes through in our channelings as you experience the guides with us, in programs like this over the internet and in personal sessions that we do.
What's fascinating is that we get a lot of people who sort of ask, how can I ask my guides better? Or how can I get my guides to do X, Y, and Z? And our guides often say to folks, your guides are never going to drive the car. That's your job. But they'll always be in the seat next to you cheering you on. Even as you go off the ramp to the wrong direction, they're still going to be like, oh, good, we have a new opportunity to learn something. We have a new opportunity to grow. And boy, is that different than the way we tend to always see things. So.
Yeah. And so, it gets back to that idea that your intentions matter, right?
Mm.
Beautiful, guys. And so are you going to share a channeling tonight with us?
We'd love to. We are more than ready if you are all ready.
What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick moment here to align us to bring in the guides, and also to align you with an invocation so that we have the highest and the truest and the best. That's what we call ourselves, speaking from Source. So we'll take a few moments here. We'll let Tom take the lead, and then you'll notice the guides come in, and we'll be in a light trance. So Tangier, over to you once that happens, and we'll go from there.
And take questions from you and Scott. I wanted to say a word about why we do this part. And that's because we've learned that the energies of the guides are very powerful, and sometimes they can feel a little overwhelming. And so we always want to make sure that the group we're channeling for are equally sort of set and steady. Now, what's fascinating is the guides do that through our chakra system. In fact, they say we're perfectly equipped to have the exact kind of relationship of a soul in an incarnated body, that our chakra system actually enables that for us. And so we'll do a quick opening of those chakras and use our breath to sort of get us all energetically centered. So if you will make yourselves comfortable with us.
And just let us know when you're ready for the questions.
They'll have an opening they'll make statement. It clear. Okay. And one thing, when they're done, when we're all done, they're going to announce that they're complete, and we're going to ask you all just to hold still for a minute, because they do like to give somewhat of an energetic hug. And I always like to add, we encourage you to receive it, because there's no compunction for you to receive it, and they give it freely. And so we just encourage you to take it in and enjoy it. So with all that,
Okay, here we go.
Let me invite us together to take 3 deep breaths in and out. In and out. In and out. Now allow yourself to breathe naturally, but really focus upon that breath, feeling the air flowing in and out of your body, an involuntary behavior that you rarely spend much attention on. And yet, as we focus on, we can feel the energies of life itself given to us. As the air we breathe in feeds every cell of our body, enabling us to thrive in our bodies. And with every exhalation, we're allowed to release anything that does not serve us, whether that be any pain, any chemical, and certainly any thought that is not serving our greatest and highest good in the moment. Every breath is an opportunity to release. And so as you breathe in and breathe out, allow yourself to simply settle in, knowing that you are cared for without a single demand on you. Feel as the earth beneath you rises to greet you. She holds you steady, and you have the ability to press your energies down into her so that she may root you, holding you steady, protecting you, providing for you the grounding that is necessary for you to live as an incarnated body on this earth. Feel her loving energies as she draws up into your body, feeding you, nurturing you, and enabling you to live on her beautiful ground. We encourage you now to feel each of your chakras opening, beginning with your root chakra, fed so beautifully by Mother Earth, a beautiful brownish red light that emerges. Another breath brings your sacral chakra, gorgeous orange light, which emerges here, the seat of your creativity, your very creative force, your ability to create life, to create ideas. Breathing up to your solar plexus and feeling the beautiful glow of a yellow light here, the very seat of your soul, your identity. Here, your affirmation, I am. Always present, always essential for you as both a soul and a body living in this time and space. Now we move to your beautiful hearts and feel the green light of compassion as it moves out, for all of love is based first and foremost in your compassion, your empathy, this built into your energetic system, this available to all as a part of your creation. Moving to your throat chakra, sky blue light emerging. Here, enabling all of your expression, your ability to express your groundedness, to express your creative force, to express your identity, to express your compassion. And we move then to your third eye. And here, as we allow your crown to open and the divine light to begin to move in, your third eye opens up into the unseen world. Here, your built-in window to the etheric realm, which is always available to you. This is where we live. This is where Source itself lives, and the window opens for you to see beyond this time and space. Here, Thomas and AJ reach out and invite in the beautiful guides, those of the highest and strongest frequencies, those whose intention is for the highest and greatest good of all those who are listening. We invite you around this etheric table. We implore you to enable AJ and I to interpret your downloads clearly and completely, so that they may benefit all who are listening. We are so grateful for your presence.
Beautiful ones. We are delighted to be able to share this moment in time with you, and we congratulate you, for we see your beautiful light, your beautiful souls, and we celebrate you at this time of awakening to the I am presence of who you are. And we come to you today specifically to remind you of the many qualities and the many abilities which you hold within your body, within your mind, within your heart, within your soul. Yes, within all of the systems in your chakras that we have been speaking of. For this knowledge shall come bursting forward to you at this critical time of awakening, as you find the knowledge from Source itself, from that aspect of you which is Source itself, to best be able to interpret and manage your conditions, and to make new decisions about what you will allow in your environment, what you will allow in your consciousness, a tuning of frequency, a tuning of the dial, which is indeed what is occurring for you now on your planet, both collectively and individually.
How we revel in these evenings, how we revel in this energy that we can feel from you, the potential that is there, that is seen, that is realized. We love this word, realized, for this is what you are after in this lifetime and in all lifetimes. The journey that you are on, lifetime after lifetime, is a realization of Source as well as yourself. And we wish to take just a moment now and to say to you, imagine with us a world in which this is the reality. This is the realization at all times. For that is more than possible. This is where you are ascending toward. We wish to remind you that this is exactly what you are striving toward. And so we invite you to dream and to see this as the norm, as the regular occurrence across your neighborhoods, across your communities, across your nation. Imagine a world of music and of love and of support. This is where you are headed. And we promise you that as you see around you contradictions, contrasts, we like to call them, as you see the contrast to this very moment around the rest of the world and around so much of your day, we remind you that this is where you are headed and where so many are coming behind you. You beautiful sentinels standing ahead as more and more awaken to find this realization. We revel in this energy with you, and we add our own to it with great adoration.
Your light is indeed strong and growing stronger. Notice how we are speaking of your awareness, your intention, your awakening, for it does start with you. You are the change makers. You are the creators of your reality, and it is this which we wish for you to understand. And we delight now in the bonding and the sharing and the interaction of your energies through your questions of us.
Now, we would be foolish not to say to you that this does not mean there is no adversity, there is no contrast, for in fact, this is so. And yet we wish to change the way in which you have come to understand this, for you have seen adversity as the enemy. You have seen the difficulties that are a natural part of your incarnation on earth. They're to teach you, as we have mentioned, that you see these as somehow interruptions and as evidence that you are not adored. And we wish for you to see it in the opposite direction, that adversity of all kinds, of any kind, is all designed for you to witness in even greater ways the love of Source, for you to understand in greater ways all the cooperative components, yourself included, that enable all things to be in a higher and greater good. It is more than possible, and so we shall say to you, there is adversity, and it is in your futures, yes, and yet with an understanding, each adversity strengthens my soul even more and enables me to realize even more of all that I am. Even greater awakenings await you, and some through adversity themselves. And so with this, we wish to hear from you. We wish to learn how we may address you and assist you in any way that is necessary. We welcome your questions.
Thank you so much, gentlemen and beautiful guides. This is from Dr. Laura. She asks, Thomas and AJ, do the guides say anything about the beating of the war drums at this time? It seems that we're on the edge of World War III.
This is exactly what we have spoken of, yes? This we would call adversity, yes. We do encourage you not to fear war, but we encourage you, much more importantly, to recognize every behavior that you contribute towards a larger environment, for the world that you wish to create is created not for you. It is nothing you shall wake up to. And just as the adverse world is nothing that you will wake up to and is out of your control. In fact, all of these things occur through you and with you, and therefore it is important for you to recognize, you who wish for no war, to ask, where do I make war in my small segment of my life, in my relationships? Where do I allow opposition to win? Where do I allow opinion to be sacrosanct? Where do I shut down my cooperation? Where do I limit my collaboration? For there is no separation. Let us say this to you clearly. There is no separation between your interactions with one another and the interactions of world powers with one another. The second thing we shall remind you is the power of the universe to listen to your collective intent. And we encourage you as a peace tribe. Yes, we love this peace tribe. For what is a tribe but collective intention? And we encourage you to apply your collective intention towards the peace in which you wish to enjoy. And yet, peace is not a void. Peace is not an absence of war. It is instead a cooperation, a collaboration towards the highest and greatest good of all. And so we return to your part, your contribution, which whenever you find difference, you separate yourself from any others, then you are no different energetically than that which you are trying to avoid. And so as you continue to find new forms of compassion, this again, your inbound gift, this a part of your system itself, that we encourage you to intend for the world that you wish to see. And when you do so collectively, you have far greater power than you have yet to realize.
So you see, now you are not so separate from events in the other side of the world or across the fence from your neighbor. You are all aspects of each other. And so in your question is the asking of how may I create a better world? And the simple answer is to step forward in your own light, to be the change, to envision the reality that you wish. And as each of you step forward in this realization, it extends out into the collective consciousness, and it soon will become impossible for those to take up arms, impossible for those to fight against one another, especially in the taking of lives. As you realize that the harms that you extend toward others, no matter what you believe the cause, is always affecting yourselves and those around you.
Here's a question from Piper. Are these challenges of grief, trauma, and illness here to encourage the evolution of my wisdom, authenticity, and spiritual awakening? And if so, once awakened to the truth of their purpose, can we release these more difficult life lessons to complete our destiny and our purpose of the earth? In the earth.
Yes, dear one. Yet let us clarify for you a few important elements here. One being that you are again on an eternal trajectory. And this means that there are things for you to learn here in this lifetime, and things for you to learn and apply in future lifetimes, for there is no end. There is only more and more and more for you to grow and to learn. And so we encourage you to embrace that which is your circumstance at the moment. Of course, your power of intention is strong as well. And yet, most importantly, is your recognition of what any illness or circumstance means for you. For it does not mean that there is harm or wrong. It means instead that there are opportunities for you, your soul at a very specific level, able to learn and wishing to learn from all of its experiences and all that is given. We encourage you to no longer look for a problem to fix, for this lowers your vibration and keeps you from the highest realms possible to you. That instead you, as odd as it shall sound to you, embrace what is there, knowing that you are loved, that you are adored, that you are cared for, that you are going to receive all that is necessary for your highest and greatest good. And yet, many humans have already decided in their own minds what is their highest and greatest good. It must be the red Corvette. Yes, it is somehow something fortunate and good and positive. This is the stories you tell one another. And yet your highest and greatest good is awareness. It is knowledge. It is the ability to grow your soul so that it is impenetrable, and it is therefore able to serve lifetime after lifetime. These are the souls you are growing, and these souls grow through many, many forms of joy as well as adversity.
Indeed, many of you come to us with the situations in your lives that are challenging, and we wish for you to see those situations and to see yourself as we see you, as a perfect divine aspect of source itself, without any deficiencies, without any lack, as pure and as whole in all of your conditions as you may see them. And as you begin to open up to an awareness of yourself as a perfect aspect of source itself, therein are the transformations that shall occur for you.
And yet, let us clarify for you, for some of you worry that in our answer, we are suggesting that you must suck in and take in adversity. This is not the point we are making. We are suggesting an entire change of mind that says, I am always blessed. I am always treated with the greatest and highest good available to me. And therefore, is there healing? Yes. When healing is the greatest and highest good, of course. Is there change to adversity? Yes, always when it is for the greatest and highest good. Is there adversity that remains when in fact the lessons still need and remain to be given? Yes, but never without an accompanying guide there close to you, able to assist you in the way in which you conceive of your circumstances. These are always, always available to you. These are never far from you. And therefore you may embrace all of it with joy, and in doing so, allow Source to do its beautiful work.
Gentlemen, we are going to need to make this the last question because Kimberly Meredith has been waiting and we're a little bit over time. But this is a question from Dorina Joy down in Ecuador. Is there a tipping point in this process of humanity ascending?
Yes. You may call it this, for your language is limited to what we are able to express and understand. Is there a point? Let us put it in more of our language. Is there a point in which more and more come forward? Yes, so that the majority are now awakened and aware. Yes, this is so. And yet again, this is not for your observation as if you were a spectator. This is for your own involvement. And for every action you take leads closer to that direction. Do you know that your own vibrations are felt by those around you, that you affect one another in perfect ways? And therefore, should you wish to see those around you move closer to the light, we suggest you shine yours and you allow yours to be seen and felt. For this is how the tables turn and tip.
And so we shall give you a taste. And what we mean by this is for you to focus in on your attention on the love of self and the love of others, the interactions that you have with those upon your planet, and indeed on the planet itself. the trees and the plants and the many animals that exist upon it, for in recognizing their light, there you are, there is your new reality, there is the tipping point, for it exists within everything at this moment, at this point of time. It need only be expanded by your consciousness.
We remind you only to look to your astrology and see alignments that you have not seen in centuries. We ask you only to look at the energies of the sun that are bombarding your planet with source. And with all this, we encourage you to recognize that all is well, and all is well on its way. Your hearts are good, and you are deeply adored by Source. And with this, we are complete.
Beautiful. While you guys transition, I'm going to show a video of what you're going to be doing for Soul Search TV. So let's take a look.
Remember, all your spirit guides are extensions of Source, who adores you unceasingly and is always focused on your greatest and highest good. This too is their greatest gift, for they are showing you constantly who you really are. That is their primary goal. For when their light and your light both shine brightly, the entire universe begins to fill with light. Imagine as each of you, drawing close to your guides, help you shine your light more greatly. This is why they exist, for you live in a universe of light. Good news.
Beautiful, beautiful,
Good
beautiful.
news. You live in a universe of light.
Yes, and you know, what's interesting is the universe is such a great mirror, because as above, so below, that light, that aspect of the universe is within you. And that's the consciousness that we're bringing forward and expanding right now. It starts with you.
So beautiful. Thank you for that powerful channeling, AJ and Tom. A lot of comments coming in from everyone, really feeling the energies and really resonating with everything that you were sharing. Ayada saying, awesome. This is the best channeling I've seen AJ and Thomas do. I've been feeling similar things for some time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and that, I just want to make a quick word that is what we expect. That there's, one of the things the guides told us instantly is there's no, special license for this. We're all getting downloaded messages, and note how consistent they are. That gives me great hope.
And we'd encourage everyone to go over to our website, speakingfromsource.com. And our free gift to you is when you sign up, add your email to our Wisdom Wednesday list at the bottom of our website, click submit, and every Wednesday you'll get inspirational messages from the guides, just like what we shared with you today. So we'd love you to be a part of that. It's something free you can do for yourself. There's no advertising or anything like that with this. And there you'll also see that you can book our services as well if you'd like a one-on-one event with us, or you can see our upcoming events. We've got an in-person event coming up this Wednesday in Phoenix, where you can hear the guides channel live if you happen to be in town as well.
Beautiful.
Gentlemen, thank
And
you
definitely check out their show on Soul Search TV.
Definitely, we've got 12 wonderful episodes for people to journey through.
Soul Search TV is where it's at, everybody. And again, there's Soul Search TV channel. There's also the Enlightenment Show with Tangela. I want to make sure everybody knows about that. And again, if you go to soulsearch.tv, that's where you can learn all about the different shows, including AJ and Thomas. And also, on Soul Search, we talked about it before, but I want to remind everybody that that's where you can find all these amazing guides. So, for example, if you go to this link, here's where you'll see AJ and Thomas on Soul Search, because Soul Search is the place that has all these amazing, wonderful guides. So There's SoulSearch.io, where you kind of find the different channels and psychics. There's SoulSearch.tv, where you find the ones that have their actual television shows, and they're kind of the more significant members of the SoulSearch family. Guys, love you so much. You know, I don't know if I've told you this story before, but we had our anniversary show a couple months ago, celebrating 4 years. And I spontaneously asked Omashar, you know, of all the guides, all the, or not guides, but all the presenters we've had on the show, who stands out for you? I'm thinking he's going to say Marianne Williamson or Deepak Chopra. He said AJ and Thomas.
Wow.
Yeah.
We are so grateful. We are so grateful for the sharing and the
Thank you.
resonance. And it really is about community. You know, we're really aligning and coming together in such beautiful ways. And I just love the work that Omashar is doing with his music that he's creating, that we all move to. It's important to move. And I love the work that, of course, Scott and Tangela are doing with their communities, both in person and online as well.
Well, and I got to tell you, whenever we tell the guides we're going back on the awakening world, they get very excited.
Yeah.
And I think they expressed today why.
Yeah.
Because this is a microcosm of the world we're creating.
Yeah.
And it's so exciting to be in it
And
to
your
be a part
audience,
of it.
your audience gets it. And we love that. We love that sharing.
Yeah, it's you guys are beautiful. Love you so much.
God, thank you so much.
We are going to digest a little bit of what we just heard with another musical offering from Tatiana, and then finally concluding our show with Kimberly Meredith. And thank you, Kimberly, for waiting. We are running about almost an hour later than originally planned. So thank you. But if people are interested in getting a reading from Kimberly, pop that into the chat. And Tatiana, how's your evening been so far?
It's been a delight, just an absolute delight. That was such a treat. I went into a very deep meditation. The energy coming through that was very felt, and so much wisdom and beauty coming through. And yeah, that was a really special experience. Thank you both for being these impeccable channels for this grace. Yeah. Yeah. My mom actually channels. So my whole life, I've grown up being able to ask my mom anything, being like, I want to talk to this celestial being now. What do they say about this? And I want to talk to this being now. She's always, so it's really sweet. I'm not personally connected to spirit in that way, but I've been around it a lot. And it's
but we
beautiful.
see that in your music, and I'm sure everyone does too. As you were singing earlier, we felt your guides close as they were working through you and working through the beautiful instrument that you're expressing through your voice and your heart.
Yeah, I'm not sure channeling really is the right word for any of it, but it comes across in so many ways. We speak for source in so many ways.
Absolutely.
We feel it in your music.
Yep.
Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, I really, that took me into such a deep, I mean, I honestly wasn't even able to like stick with exactly the content of what you're saying, because it almost just took me into a whole, I didn't fall asleep, but I felt like I was in a different state of consciousness, kind of. So
no, we actually, when we work with clients, always record and transcribe, because we tell them you'll get a lot more of it after. Right now, just take in the energy.
Yeah.
And then
okay,
you'll find the words. So yeah.
good to know. Okay, that's definitely what was happening over here. Yeah. Scott, what do you think? Should I sing? I have like a few different options, so I'm not sure which way to go right now. I could sing a lullaby. I could.
Well, yeah, do one of your lullabies, because I really want people to get a taste of that. And we're about to go into Kimberly Meredith, who does beautiful healing work. So that's
perfect.
a nice transition into Kimberly.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm just gonna put it on gallery mode here. There we go, so you can see our beautiful faces. So this song is called Give It Over, and it's really a somatic invitation to drop into your body, to feel safe on the earth. Because for me, it feels like, at least my journey was a lot of spiritual awareness and awakening, but not coming into my body, coming into an embodied experience of actually bringing that light, love into my physical life, into my relationships, into my work, until I started to feel safe here, until I started to help my body feel safe on the planet. So this song is really an invitation for that. So I invite you just to really feel comfortable and cozy, nestled in your little homes, and just notice that in this moment, we're so safe, we're together, we're connected. All is well, as our guides were sharing, all is well. And just let your body get that message, that information that you are safe right now. You are safe now to come down. You are safe now to put your feet on the ground. I know you have fought many wars, but you can rest now like never before. Just give it over, give it over now, all that you carry. Just give it over, just give it over, and come down, down, down. You are home now, after the years, and you can rest in this love. Let go of your fears. I know you've wondered sometimes if you would survive. Well, look around you now. You're on the other side. Just give it over. Just give it over now, all that you carry. Just give it over, just give it over, and come down, down, down. Come down to the ground and into my arms. I will hold you so safe and warm. Come down to the ground and into my heart, and just give it over, give it over, just give it over, just give it over, all that you carry, and come down, down, down. Come down, down, down. Come down into to this love, this connection, this safety that's here, shared between all of us here on this call, the healing and the love and the community that's right here, right now. Just let that soak into your being. The depth of safety and wellness and love in our awakening world. Thank you.
Go to gallery view and just send her so much love and appreciation. What a gift you are, Tatiana. Every time you're on the show and I hear you play, it's like, oh, this woman is just such an angel. And I'm going to read some of the comments that have come in. There's beautiful comments coming in. John Gray writes, heavenly. Susan B writes, awesome, Tatiana. Dr. Laura writes, Tatiana. Your songs are like a loving hug that lasts and lasts and lasts. And remember, John told us about the importance of hugs. Thank you and bless you. Dorina Joy writes, thank you, Tatiana. The sound of your angelic voice when you speak guides us in meditation, and especially when you sing is so beautiful, soothing, healing, a real treat, a lullaby and gift for body, mind, heart, and soul. Thank you for singing and sharing your gifts with us so authentically and generously. Harold Craig writes, tears are falling now. Your song is so profound for me. And there are more coming in from Ayada, from Roger Tellefson. Ayada points out that there's a beautiful video of the same song she likes to watch. And Tatiana has a wonderful YouTube channel where you can get some of her videos. And of course, the main way of finding her is by going to her website, which is her name, TatianaSpeed.com. And if you scroll down, I believe if I recall correctly, this takes you to some of her YouTube videos. There's Give It Over right there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, loves.
I'm going to Tangela.
Thank you, Tatiana. That was absolutely beautiful, so profound. And I love that your song is about safety and embodiment, because that is such an important topic for all of us. And, in our spiritual path and this awakening process, sometimes we go up and out, and it's beautiful that you just, bring us in. Powerful. Thank you.
I've noticed that as someone who's been in this movement for my whole life, it's true. 20, 30 years ago, everybody wanted to leave their body. They were taking drugs and doing meditation to leave their body. And now most of the teachers on this show are about, no, it's about fully coming into our body, even using meditation, like John points out, to fully come into our body. It's not about escaping. It's about being fully present, because the body temple is such a gift. It's such an amazing gift to be able to eat a peach and listen to Tatiana music. And we're so blessed.
I would like to add, Tatiana, someone writes, interesting, hearing you, Tatiana, reveals to me how unsafe I have felt for such a long time. I wanted the men listening to know that this is our role as men, to create this safety for women. This is very, very important. You can feel the value that she puts on this feeling of safety, the importance of feeling that. Men need to feel safe, but that's not our major need. Our need is to find someone we can provide, and keep that in mind whenever you feel a little angry or irritable. That's not safe. Settle it down. Always provide a calm, centered, empathetic approach the best you can. But you just beautifully express that feminine need that needs safety. And men, we have a job to do. Just want to put that in.
Right on, Sean. Thank you so much for that. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. As a coach, I'm always encouraging men every day to do the holding practice where they just hold their woman and the woman can fully relax, get out of that get shit done mode that she's been in and relax into the arms of her man and to really feel the homeostasis. And the couples that do this holding practice where the man creates that safety, beautiful openings take place in the relationship. So
Can I add one thing to that?
yeah.
Just to say that as someone who just finally found, I'm just finally in a relationship where I feel safe, and it is changing my actual life. Like that my partner is so safe and provides exactly what you're talking about, John. And I've been doing somatic work for years and years and years, but that sense of safety that he brings me it's allowing my body to relax on the planet in a totally new way. So yeah, just to validate what you're saying.
Yeah, and here's a biohack for everybody. I know we've gone late, so I'll try to keep it short. But it used to be in my books, and I still say, man, if you're angry, make sure to just politely say, look, I need to think about this, and we'll talk later. So it doesn't continue talking, which aggravates. However, instead, now what I do is I say, okay, I just need to think about this. Let's not talk. Let's sit side by side and let me hold your hand and let the bodies talk to each other, because the body is where the safety is, because this is the person you love more than anybody. And sometimes the mind gets in the way. We just let the bodies connect. So silently sit with hands together and eventually arm around each other. Just want to add that's a lovely hack.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, John. Thanks for staying with us. I always so appreciate when we have a celebrity of your stature and you stay on for the whole show. That really there's a humility there and a being connected, and it's just I respect that very, very much. Thank you. Thank you for
I
being
think I'm loving it like everybody else. Thank you.
great. Thank you. Well, Tangela, our beloved Kimberly Meredith has been very patient, and she is also an amazing luminary. So I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce her.
Yes, definitely. I know Kimberly's had a busy day today with events as well. So Kimberly, thank you so much for being so generous and kind and patient. And just to introduce everyone, I know you're a favorite here with the Global Peace Tribe. Kimberly Meredith is a contemporary world-renowned celebrity, medical intuitive, medium healer, speaker, and best-selling author of Awakening to the Fifth Dimension. With her remarkable abilities, Kimberly has helped thousands of people and animals from around the world to improve from all manner of medical and emotional conditions by calling in the divine and Christ consciousness. Kimberly also connects with those who have crossed over to bring messages to the living from the other side. So welcome, Kimberly. Thank you so much. You always share your beautiful Christ consciousness energy and inspirational and healing messages for everyone. Thank you for your patience. Welcome, and just want you to share with everyone, what is coming through for you at this time.
Thank you for having me here, everybody. It's been amazing. It's an honor to be here today with such beautiful human beings and souls, and sitting here and learning everything from everybody. It's amazing. I think if I share, it's just going to be the same thing everybody else has said. My book's called The Awakening to the Fifth Dimension, Discovering the Soul's Path to Healing. The book, I'm first time author, became a bestseller. It's by Hay House, St. Martin's, the audio's Penguin, Random House. I'm just going to say that living in a third dimensional frequency, those relationships are meant to break. And fifth dimensional relationships are meant to have that intimacy, the love. I call it the holy relationship. Like the beautiful Sean said, build that friendship, build that love, build that intimacy. People, even, the younger generation, want to dive in and get to that sex right away. And it's really a time to get to know your partner, get to know each other, be friends, And this is not just having a relationship. This is any relationship. This is being in work relationships, friendship relationships. It's a time to get to know your brothers and sisters and and support your brothers and sisters and honor your brothers and sisters and trust. And that's the fifth dimension. You know, I talk a lot about my near-death experience in the book. I also talk about my childhood, which was really difficult growing up. And I also talk about miracles. We all deserve a miracle. We all deserve to have the life we're meant to have. And whatever you want to have, the magic is real. And these dimensions are something that I didn't come up with. They've been here way before I came along. I'm just a channel, and I'm channeling these dimensional frequencies, and I'm a healer. And you can do it too. So I'm going to read a couple channeled messages from the book, and then I'll do a reading. Okay, here's one of them that I channeled. We rub our hands together and activate our palms and put it over any chakra. I do meditation about 3 times a day, and I do prayer throughout the day. And I like to do my heart chakra, but whatever chakra that you want to place your hand on, go ahead and do that. And I'm going to read one of the channeled prayers in my book, affirmation prayers. The one the guides picked is called the Fifth Dimensional Prayer of Gratitude. Being in a state of gratitude is a powerful way to experience this beautiful dimension. The fifth dimension is an experience that we can fully be aware of our own guides, of our own angels. When we're in the dimension of being fully in the angelic realm, we can experience gratitude. When we go into this dimension, we feel the angelic realm. Our lives have a full blessing. We are a humble servant of God. We experience love. Thank you for guiding me. Thank you for having the humility of being guided. Give me the attitude of a thankful daily gratitude. I know that I love being in the truth, and the truth dwells in the thankful heart. I know that by giving without wanting anything in return brings life to its fullest and has a universal effect on ascension. I live in trust. I live in the present moment. And by living in this moment, I can have peace inside. Namaste. Activating your hands again and placing it on your root chakra and taking a deep breath, inhale and exhale. Thank you, God, for your presence within us, within this room. Bless you for giving me my life. Bless you for giving me the overflowing flow of love. Bless you for the nourishment and the warmth that you have given me in my life, for the miracle that harvests the sacred love, for the energy that you have given me in this time and space. Thank you for the divine, holy, loving energy through my thoughts, through my mind, and through my spirit. Thank you, God. Thank you, angels. Thank you. I am not afraid. I'm in the fifth dimension. I am in joy. I'm in love. I am in light. I am protected. I'm a multidimensional being. I'm making a clear choice to experience this loving energy. And take a deep breath again and put your hands over your heart. The perfect love of the Christ consciousness is here. I am love. I am joy. I have no fear. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. Thank you.
And just put your hands all around your body, and at the bottom of your feet, tie a beautiful bow of protection. So at that, I'm going to just make it very simple, and I'm just going to go through the gallery and do a few readings.
So it's always helpful. People, we're going to go to gallery view. And if you're interested in having a reading or a healing, please either raise your hand physically, or there's a little reaction thing. And if you press where it says raise your hand, we can see that. So we see Pat has raised her hand.
I'm already getting a message, Scott, from somebody that has crossed over that's coming through. So what I could do, Scott, if it's okay with you, when I find the person, can you just pin them for me? Please?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you. All right. So I am hearing. So how I work is I have on the left side, I hear through my left ear. So after I had my near-death experience, I lost a little bit of the hearing on my left ear. So the spirit team comes through the left side of my ear. So if you see me going to the left, it's not that I'm saying no to you. I'm just hearing them come to the left side of my ear and speak. So I am hearing a man coming through, and it's a soulmate coming through, wanting to speak to someone that maybe a husband that has crossed over, that wants to communicate with their loved one. So I don't know if Pat's husband crossed over. No. Okay. So I'm going to go over to.
I know that there's a woman named Carol who's a regular, and Carol's husband crossed over recently. I don't know if that's who you're hearing from, but
So there is a gentleman that's looking for his soulmate right now. He is coming over. So Carol didn't raise her hand though.
Okay.
Yeah. But is that the Carol you're talking?
Yeah,
she's
there is a
coming
Carol
over.
Craig who's a regular on our show who comes frequently, and I know her
Okay, so
husband.
I'm gonna go with Terry Russo.
Okay.
Okay. And we'll see who else this is. Okay, hi Terry.
Hi, how are you?
I'm really great. I'm happy to be here. There is someone from the other side trying to come in to talk to you. I'm wondering if it's a mother. No, it's a gentleman coming in.
When you first said that before, I was thinking of my grandfather, but I'm not sure if that's who.
Yeah, it could be a grandfather. But it is a man coming in, yeah, that wants to talk to you. And it's saying you had a very close relationship like a soulmate. Was that true?
Yes.
Yeah. He's saying something to me about, and you can say yes or no about this. He's talking about your health.
Okay.
He's talking about something going on with your health. He's telling me something about your lower gut, your stomach area needs some help with that. Is that true or not?
Sure.
Are you having some digestive issues going on? Because he's being very he's saying, Kimberly, he's on my left shoulder. He says she needs to take care of her digestive tract. Do you want to tell us?
I mean, I've got some things going on with leaky gut that I think a lot of people have, and it might be related to chronic Lyme and post-COVID and Hashimoto's. I'm not sure.
Well, you don't have to tell me too much more. He's saying something about that. He's also saying something about some joint issues, like a knee and a hip also.
Oh, yeah.
Whispering in my ear. He's also talking about finances.
Yes.
He's saying, I'm with you all the time. I'm trying to help you. Use me as your guide. I'm going to help you with the finances. He's talking about. Are you working right now?
Sort of. I left a full-time job and I'm trying to start a small holistic private practice, and it's a lot of work because people don't know I exist, but I know how to take care of patients. I've been working for decades.
The less you tell me, the better. The less you tell me.
Sorry.
You say yes or no. So when I ask you if you're working right now, you could just say yes or no.
Okay.
Okay. He's telling me about your job. He's saying to me, he didn't like where you're working, if you're working there right now. He's telling me there's too much anxiety going on, and that's part of why some of the stuff's going on with your health. So you are looking for a new position?
Well, it was a terribly anxious job that I left, and now I'm doing this other thing, which is way better.
The new position, he's telling me, he's very chatty, by the way. He has a very interesting personality. He's talking a lot. He's telling me the new position, he likes it way better. So like between 1 to 5, it's like a 4. The other one, it was a lot of anxiety. He's also telling me, did you ever have an eye issue, or did you get your glasses? He's saying something about your eyes.
I had a left cataract done. I'm getting my right cataract next week. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, great. He's happy about that. He's saying to me, oh my God, he is so your soulmate. It's unbelievable. He's actually been going with you to your eye appointments.
Wouldn't shock me.
Oh my God. So funny. Okay. Anyway, you can always do a longer session with me later, because he's talking about some vitamins. Like, he does not like some vitamins you're taking.
Oh, okay.
He sees everything that is going on. So he's actually saying something about you taking it's funny how I was like so tired, now I like woke up. I'm like wide awake now, everybody.
Well, he
Okay.
could wake you up.
Yeah, he woke me up. Okay, you need a good probiotic, and you need a different multiple vitamin.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think you're taking a multiple vitamin.
I need a better one.
Yeah, definitely. And also water. You're not hydrated enough.
That's probably true.
What kind of water are you drinking? Uh-oh, we're losing her.
Well, water. I live in Cape
Uh-oh.
Cod.
What kind of water?
Oops, sorry. It's
Yeah.
well water.
Oh, no, we don't like well water. Okay, so in my book, I have a chapter. The publishers were not so keen on it at first, but I fought my way. And there's a whole chapter on water can save your life. And in the chapter, I talk about well water and how if you're going to drink well water, please put a filter on the faucet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to have one. I need to get a new one.
Yeah, so that would be really great. The last thing I'm hearing, just because which is a mini reading, he's definitely saying he loves when you pray. There's something about you when you're praying, and if you said you didn't pray, I would be shocked. But
No, I pray.
Yeah, he's saying, I see when you're praying. He's showing me you're praying, and that I'm getting chills. Like there's something about you when you're connecting to spirit, it boosts your immune system. So a lot of times people don't really realize that through meditating and praying, vitamins are great, drinking the right water is really wonderful, eating the right food is great. But do you know that when you have the will, Holy Spirit, and God, and when you're praying, you can be healed just through the prayer. And when you're praying, you're connecting not only to Him, because He's one of your spirit guides, you are being healed. So thank you for letting me do this really short reading for you. And you can always email me. You don't have to pay me. Wait, I don't just say that to everybody, but just to you, I can give you the recommendations for the probiotic and the multiple vitamin that I like. Okay, thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm glad you're getting your other eye work done, because yeah. So I don't know if we have another time for one more session I can do.
Absolutely. And we've got all the time in the world. We gave extra time to John. We can certainly give extra time to you. So
well, John is special.
There are a few people with their hands up. Piper, Pat, Angela, Bonnie.
I was at an event today and I did like 10 or I don't even know how many. So yeah. Okay. So let me open up and look through the room. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let me see. Oh my God, there's a fire in the middle. Okay, Richard has a fire going. That looks nice. Very sweet. Okay. I can't read the fire, so that's okay. Okay. Just joking. Okay. Amashar, I have a message for you later. Okay. Okay. I am getting a message for Bonnie. Bonnie, would you
Hi.
like reading, Bonnie? Hi, Bonnie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
So, Bonnie, the first thing that you can ask me a question if you like one question, and I can also go in right away. I see like, I can say one thing to you, and then you can come back and talk to the spirit team. Right away, I see something about family. Something going on with the family. Is that true? There's something going on with the family.
Joan.
Whose family?
Well, are you partners?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're saying, when you say whose family, that's interesting, because do you have different families? Because they're talking
Yeah.
about the family, but you're married.
Yes, we're widower and married.
But you're married, so it's interesting you said there's different families. So they're saying well, your family. So
Okay.
you're both in the same family, but your family. And your spiritual family. You want to ask me a question about that?
Spiritual family.
Well, I have a friend who is like a spiritual brother who's going through a really bad time. He's extremely depressed. I've loved him like a brother for 45 years, and he's gay. He's been unhappy in his relationship, but he's got many physical problems as well as emotional, stemming back from infancy. But
okay, they're talking about you. They're saying when you came into the world, you were born as a kind, loving person. You came in as a 4. You're very, you like to give a lot. You like to help people a lot.
yes.
They're also telling me that you're helping a lot of people in like the spiritual. Are you like belong to a spiritual community?
Yeah.
Well, this one.
Any other ones?
Another one too.
Not at this time.
But you have.
Yes.
They're telling me that about you. They're also telling me something about you doing something within the next 10 years, going into 2033. They're saying that there's something about you moving forward in a spiritual community. Is that something? It sounds like it might be something along the lines.
It's possible.
Yeah.
You can talk to them. It's not me you're going through. I'm just a
conduit.
Thank you. Thank you for speaking for, conduit.
You're welcome. I do that.
They're also telling me, they're showing me the sign of the Christ consciousness, that they're showing me that you enjoy this. They're telling me like about the person you like to care. You give a lot.
I don't know what to say about that other than I give more than I receive very often, but I'm getting better about not allowing myself to be codependent. I have had that tendency in the past.
Yeah. Well, giving without want anything back is partly what's going to happen in the next few years, because we want to give. Part of being of service is what is important for the world in the shift. I feel that it helps you stay healthy. by you giving and helping and serving people helps revitalize your body and keeping you healthy is important. There is some medical issues probably that you know about in your body, right?
Right.
So they're telling me in my ear, the more that you're giving, you may not see something, or someone may not say thank you, or maybe they're not doing the kind of like return that you may want, but you're actually getting a return from spirit, keeping you happy and invigorating yourself to be healed. So in my accident was pretty bad, you know, hardcore. And how I stay healthy is by doing my work. Your husband, what is your name, sir?
Roger.
Roger, nice to meet you, Roger. They're saying when you two met, you probably felt like you were family.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
And they're saying you guys are soulmates. You know how I know that?
Yes. How do you know that?
When I see people together, I see the infinity sign over each other. The infinity sign could either be a soulmate friend, or it could be a soulmate relationship sign, meaning that you guys also have just soulmate, meaning you guys are just going to be friends, or soulmate meaning there's a romantic part that's really also in alignment. So when I ask my guys, are they soulmate friends? Are they also soulmate romantic? You hit the jackpot. It's both. Diggity dog. Okay, so yeah, they're saying both. And then also, you also love spiritual community. Any other question you want to ask me? Because you're my final reading tonight.
When you were talking with the other lady, you were describing Bonnie as far as the knee and hip issues. And also her husband passed cancer 13 years ago. So we were thinking maybe it might have been her too. I don't know.
Sometimes it can come in for somebody else too. Also for Bonnie, I am seeing something going on in the back of your neck. I don't know if you ever had any neck issues, but there is something in the back of the neck coming up for you. Back of your spine, your neck. So I wouldn't do any neck adjustments for you. I don't know if you do neck adjustments or you ever had, but that would have harmed the low back.
I haven't been to a chiropractor for some time.
Good.
But
that would be a good thing for me to do.
It would not probably be a good deal right now, because doing an adjustment would not probably help you at this point. You want to boost your collagen in the neck. And so cold laser therapy is really cool for that. So anyway, I really congratulate you guys. How long have you been married?
7 years. Well, actually, we've been together 7 years. Married 6.
Okay. Yeah, the guys are saying that you guys get along great. The guys are telling me
okay.
there's something about you guys.
I did. I was listening. I was about to go to bed, but this woman came on, Kimberly Meredith from Coast to Coast, and she was doing these readings. She actually did one for me. I was shocked. And she did some other ones. So it's the last one. They're going to go off soon. So I just wanted to check it out.
Oh, somebody's talking. I'm going to go now with the reading, but they are saying something about happy 11th year anniversary when you do have it. Email me back and say hi. Okay. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we met in I missed her happy birthday May 29th in 2016. The rest is history. Online, Facebook.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Well, that's what happened. And been together since 2000.
Oh, you guys met on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Okay.
We did. Yes. Thank you, Cindy, for chiming in. You're welcome.
I keep getting a lot of 11s around you too, the number 11. So Yeah. And also they're saying for your health, I don't want to get too, into certain things, but they are saying to, make sure that you are drinking enough water, Roger, that you do drink good water. And Mountain Valley spring water is one of my favorite water.
Yeah. Yeah, I do drink filtered water, and I just started drinking hydrogenated water again.
Okay, and watch your blood pressure.
Oh yeah, oh definitely.
Are you on blood pressure medicine?
I'm taking herbal blood pressure.
Because they're telling me the blood pressure, I'm hearing them say the blood pressure there's an issue with your blood pressure.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely, right on.
So you're telling me you've got to watch that. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Thank you so much we love Bonnie and Roger. They came to both of our retreats. They're beloved members of our Global Peace Tribe. So thank you so much. And you two just completed a program and you've got a new one coming up. Please tell our audience about it.
Great. So basically, Kimberly and I have an accelerated mentorship program, miracle mentorship program, where we support a small group over. Our last program was 4 weeks. We're actually extending it now to 8 weeks to really manifest miracles in your life. And you might say, wow, well, that is a short period of time. How can that be possible? Well, really anything is possible. And we step into the fifth dimension of unlimited possibilities. And as we come together in that frequency, we're really able to support you and support one another and choosing a goal to focus on and then moving forward towards that. And so Kimberly and I work together to run this program, and it's been an amazing experience, and we'll be doing it again on October. So for those of you who are interested in manifesting miracles with us, definitely connect with us and stay tuned. Kimberly, you want to jump in there?
Yeah. Thank you, D'Angela. It was so much fun, and people all finished their goals, and we love it because we send your homework out to you the week. Well, this will be 2 weeks. You get a chance to get your homework done 2 weeks before, and we're very we're very good. I think we're very good mentors. We really guide you through each step. My guides like to help you with your homework. So after you finish your homework, you pick the goal that you want to do. We walk you through step by step, and you turn your homework in before the class. And every one of I've been doing my mentorship program for about 4 years on my own. And then Tangela and I decided to come together and do accelerated program. Our last one was really successful, and everybody accomplished their goal. And some of them were quite big goals, and some of them were tiny. They don't have to be big. And there was a lot of writing, and it was just really cool. So now we decided to jump in to do the 8-week.
Definitely. And people had all types of goals, everything from losing weight, getting healthy, launching a new creative endeavor, entrepreneurial endeavor. We have so many goals in our life, and often, they're ideas, but how do we manifest that into reality? And there's a power to that when you set your mind to it and come together in a group, and then, have the support from the guides, from myself and Kimberly. You can really make things happen in a short time. I mean, all of us have seen miracles manifest, and miracles are available to all of us.
Yeah. And I want to say too, sometimes it could be just like an inner childhood wound, or maybe it was putting up a YouTube channel that you just didn't understand or felt uneasy about. I don't know how to get a YouTube channel up, or maybe you didn't know the name, or it just, sometimes it was something like maybe you'd been bullied. You couldn't figure out that you had enough confidence to do that. So this is really important to know that we're here for you.
Beautiful. Well, things. I want to let people know that Kimberly's main website is thehealingtrilogy.com. Thehealingtrilogy.com. There's a lot on this website. Definitely make sure that you subscribe to her email list, and you can book an appointment with her. There's the Miracle Mentorship Program that they were just talking about. And there'll be another one coming up in the fall. She's got podcasts that you can find. You can order her book, her amazing fifth dimension book, Awakening to the Fifth Dimension. And look at how many different ways you can order it, all the different Kindle and Amazon and all of our favorite ways. It's even printed for those of you, anybody watching in England, there's a UK edition. So thehealingtrilogy.com is where all things Kimberly Meredith are taking place. And Kimberly, you mentioned you have a message for our beloved Omashar, and I'm curious what that might be.
Well, when I looked over it at Omashar, I don't know, Omashar, where I don't want to get too personal. You could always do a one-on-one by, personally with me on my sessions, but I saw something like really big happening for you in a career move. And I didn't know if you were working on something with your music. But I did see something that was going to be happening to you in 2025.
That's great. I like any encouragement I can get, Kimberly, and I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I know that we have stretched you beyond the beyond, and because it's bedtime for you, like how many 20 sessions today? But I was definitely intrigued that you had mentioned that you saw something, and yeah, I do. I have a lot of music things coming up, a lot of engagements. And I am focused on it as my life's work, my life's purpose, as is thine and everyone on the show tonight, about helping us all awaken. And at the same time, awakening within ourselves, right? We have to do the work for ourselves. We can, so yeah.
Yeah, I did see something happening, and I could get into it further with you, but not that
okay. Thank you so much for this moment. I appreciate it.
You're going to be on like major tour, but you never know.
Okay, thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you, everybody.
Kimberly, thank you so much. We love you. This has been kind of really like an all-star, favorites. You, John Gray, Tatiana, of course, always Omashar. It's been like a greatest hits night of the world. So I love you so much, Kimberly.
I love you, Scott, so much. Thank you. And it's been an honor to be here with John Gray, this amazing, and everybody, and got to meet AJ Thomas and Tatiana. It's just been amazing. I probably won't be able to sleep tonight. Even though I'm really tired.
Thank you so much, Kimberly, and everyone. Stay tuned for Kimberly's show on Soul Search TV, Messages from Heaven. And also, of course, Kimberly is always at all of our Southern California expos. So we will be releasing those dates soon. So stay tuned for that as well. You'll be able to come see her live soon, late this summer and this fall. So thanks for being here, Kimberly.
Bless you.
I've brought all of our guests on for one last time, let's just appreciate Kimberly, John, AJ, and Thomas as represented. Of course, beloved Omashar, Tatiana, and my co-host, Tangela. Thank you all so much for just creating such a beautiful, beautiful evening. It's been really, really special. Thank you so much. I also want to remind everybody that I will be with Tangela and Eden Amadora. We're going to be doing a very special event in San Rafael. And I know we have a lot of friends that live in the Bay Area. So next Sunday is going to be an Enlightenment Expo. I've been to a couple of her expos. They're fantastic. I'm really excited that I'll kind of kick it off. Eden Amador and I will do an opening ceremony, and we're going to provide tips, tools, and practices for how you can have enlightened moments. Whole days with the things, and then it culminates with the great John Gray live in person. So, Tangela, is there anything else you want to share about that?
Going to be a wonderful day. So I know a lot of our viewers here are in the Bay Area. So definitely come Sunday, June 30th, the San Rafael Embassy Suites, and start your day off in person with Scott Katamas and Eden Amadora. They're going to be leading an amazing opening ceremony that is about tools and tips for your enlightenment. So it's going to be a beautiful day to start your day live with Scott and Eden. Of course, we're going to be live streaming as well as part of a special Sacred Sunday edition. So for our community that's not in the Bay Area, you can still tune in. But if you are in the Bay Area, come in, join in the live experience and stay all day. So then, of course, you can end your day with John Gray, dive in more deeply into all of that he shared today. Bring your questions. It'll be interactive. And of course, the whole day is amazing. We have incredible speakers all day on the hour, every hour, and amazing practitioners, healers, guides, channels, all types of things happening as well. So definitely come in and join us. It's going to be a great day. You see, we have many different speakers speaking about creating miracle results with Darren Starwin, Dr. Dan Fields speaking about Qigong and acupuncture and holistic healing, Annie Batchelor speaking about the Akashic records, Renee and Anthony that are regulars on the show here. They will be channeling Yeshua and Mary Magdalene and many more. So definitely come by. It's going to be a great experience, and hope to see many of you all in person. All of you in the Bay Area, come by and join us live. We love doing online events, but we also love sharing and being in the energy with one another. So we invite all of you to be with us on Sunday.
Thank you so much, Tangela. Another fantastic collaboration. We're going to be doing at least one a month for Soul Search because we love all the Soul Searchers. And I'm looking forward to seeing you and John on Sunday in San Rafael, a week from tomorrow. And a reminder, everybody, put in your calendars a special Sacred Sunday show. For those of you who can't join us live, we're going to live stream it online. I'll send out a special link. Omoshar will bless us with some music. Eden and I will do a program, and we might just carry, I've got to check in with the other speakers and see who's willing to be live streamed, but we might just continue with some of the other speakers. I know Darren has been on this show before. Renee and Anthony, we love Renee and Anthony. They've been on this show many times. So that's what's happening. I also, one more time, just want to encourage everybody, please do support Piper. We really need to provide her with green energy. So this is the link. I'll put it in the chat box one more time. For those of you watching on Facebook or on YouTube, it's at the very top of my profile page on Facebook. Let's support our beloved Piper Dellums. It's really, really important. Next week on Wednesday night on The Awakening World, Pato and Antoinette are going to be back joining us, showing some of the excerpts of their film all about the spirit of Ubuntu. And we love those two. They're amazing. And then on a week from tonight, Saturday night, we're going to have a preview of the Earth Stock Summit Festival up in Colorado, right near where Omoshar lives. And we're going to learn all about that festival and meet some of the key people who are putting it together. So that's what we've got next week. And then, of course, on Sunday, a special edition, the Sacred Sunday Show returns with Tangela, Eden Amadora, Scott Omoshar, and other friends to be named. So
wonderful. Thanks so much, Scott. And one more thing I forgot to mention.
Sure.
Definitely join the Soul Search Facebook community. I put it in the chat. It's Soul Search Spiritual Awakening. They're the groups, because AJ and Tom will be doing a Facebook Live series about their show on Soul Search TV, answering questions. That'll be starting in 2 weeks. And just in the meantime, join the community. We have a really great community, lots of Q&A. We always want to share. So join us and stay connected.
And you know, I just learned, Tangela, that while we were talking, you might remember I mentioned Carol Craig earlier. She had an earthquake. She's in Trinidad. And tonight, during the show, there was an earthquake. So maximum grace for Carol and all the people in Trinidad. Hopefully it was just a little trembler releasing steam as opposed to a big one. So maximum grace for Carol. And we are going to conclude, as we so love to do, with a final song from beloved Omoshar.
And this song, I guess, Carol, love you and be safe. And I was going to make a joke about earthquakes there, but I don't think that's a very good thing to do. So this song is called Out of the Blue, and it's a short song, and you can get up and shake your booty. I thought it would be a good way for us to ground all of this amazing energy that we have received this evening. And I'll put on a little bit of a psychedelic background. And are you ready?
We're ready.
Whatever happened to the ones that came before? Did they just vanish into the blue? Maybe they're living the dream we know to be true, and reaching their hands back out of the blue. My heart is so ready to embrace all that's new. I feel the love calling for me to break on through. With peace on my mind, I know that I'm coming to a new way of life that feels so true. All right, here we go. There's nothing here to hold me back from you. The clouds of my life have blown away. My lightness of being lifts me every day. I find myself feeling not so blue. Heart is so ready to embrace all that's new. I feel the love calling for me to break on through. With peace on my mind, I know that I'm coming to a new way of life that feels so true.
Woohoo! All hail Omashar, and I love watching everybody moving and grooving. John is up dancing. Of course, Susan with her, whatever that was. What is that? Anyway, thank you.
I think I saw Tatiana. Did you have a dog?
What was that?
Tatiana was dancing with her dog, with her puppy.
Tatiana with her puppy. What a big, beautiful one. Wow, that's a good sized one.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us tonight. It was a beautiful, wonderful show. Love each and every one of you. Have a wonderful weekend. Remember, you can make any day sacred by just choosing to see the divinity in all. So tomorrow being Sunday, let's make it a sacred Sunday where we just practice seeing the divinity in all, including what you see when you look in the mirror. Take care, everybody. Have a beautiful, Sunday. We'll see you next week.